and non-kinetic strategies to restore peace, declared a security emergency, and approved the recruitment of 50,000 new police officers and thousands of military recruits. Our 2026 budget commits 5.41 trillion, our largest ever, to defense and security. We have moved from training with our allies to precision targeting. In Arege, we degraded ISWAP and command centers. Terror-related deaths are down by 81% since 2015. Over 13,000 terrorists have been neutralized in the past year. But we also keep the door of surrender open. Over 124,000 fighters and dependents have laid down arms since 2023. Through Operation Safe Corridor, we turn our former enemies into citizens because every life saved is a victory for democracy. To bandits, kidnappers, and sponsors of terror, surrender or face the full force of the Nigerian state. These windows of surrender will not remain open forever. No mercy will be shown to those who trade in blood of Nigerians. At a time like this, let us not assign blames or point fingers. Crime has no ethnicity. We must stand united and be assured that the enemies of our nation shall soon be history. We will triumph over terror and continue to build a more prosperous nation. June 12 occupies a sacred place in our national memory. It represents more than an election. It is a defining chapter in our history. We remember Chief MKO Abiola, who won a pan-Nigerian mandate transcending ethnicity and religion. We remember Alhaji Kudirat Abiola. We also remember Chief Ganifa Emi, Chief Bola Ige, Chief Alfred Rwani, and Pa Abraham Adesoya, Chief Anthony Enahoro, Alhaji Balarabe Musa, Commodore Dan Suleiman, Beko Ransom Kuti, Franco Kori, Arthur Nwanko, Chima Obani, Shehu Musa Yadra, and the many other heroes and heroines of democracy whose sacrifices helped secure the freedom we enjoy today. As beneficiaries of their struggle, we have a duty to strengthen and deepen the democratic institutions for which they fought. The greatest tribute we can pay is to build a Nigeria where freedom is protected, justice is upheld, opportunity is expanded, and government is accountable. June 12, 1993, revealed the possibility of a true Nigerian nation. The heroes of June 12 secured political freedom. Our challenge is to secure economic freedom. Democracy must be felt in the quality of people's lives, in opportunities for youth, in prosperous farmers, successful entrepreneurs, and the dignity of our workers. The reforms we are undertaking were not chosen for ease, but for necessity. 3 years ago, our public finances were under severe strain. Investment was discouraged, and economic uncertainty threatened our future. We chose to act, embracing reforms to advance Nigerians' economic freedom. Since 2023, our reforms have restored stability and credibility to economic management. Federation revenues have risen, providing state and local governments with more resources for infrastructure, education, health care, and security. Fiscal transparency has improved. Leakage has been reduced, and public funds are better directed to national priorities. Investors' confidence has returned, with investment in agriculture, energy, manufacturing, technology, mining, transportation, and the creative industries growing. Domestic refinery capacity has increased, strengthening energy security and reducing our reliance on imported petroleum products. By 2023, when we came on board, the electricity sector was characterized by chronic generation shortfalls and unreliable gas supply and transmission infrastructure, so fragile that they could not evacuate available power. Distribution companies were burdened by massive losses and a metering deficit of over 4 million. Worst of all, the value chain was drowning in legacy debt. The result was a sector that generated less than 13,500 megawatts installed capacity, a sector that transmitted less than it generated, distributed less than it transmitted, and collected revenue far below what it needed to sustain itself. To address the problem besetting the sector, I signed the Electricity Act, which grants state authority to generate, transmit, and distribute power. The Presidential Power Sector Task Force is working hard to reduce the metering deficit. It has also been authorized to raise a 4 trillion bond to settle verified legacy debts. Rural Electrification Agency, supported by the World Bank and the African Development Bank, has deployed off-grid and mini-grid power to underserved communities, universities, markets, and hospitals. Electricity is a democratic dividend we owe every Nigerian. We intend to deliver it. Across the country, infrastructure projects are connecting producers to markets and creating opportunities for the enterprise and employment. The National Agricultural Development Fund is deploying 10,000 tractors over 5 years. Over 1,000 SME have been certified for export. Non-export grew by 21% last year. Yet, many Nigerians still face economic hardship. We remain focused on reducing inflation, expanding food production, creating jobs, improving living standards, rebuilding confidence in our economy, and creating conditions for sustainable prosperity. We are moving from uncertainty to stability. The next phase is about accelerating growth and ensuring the benefits are felt in every home, every community, and every region. We believe that democracy must be felt in the pocket, recognizing that democracy is undermined when people do not feel its impact. My administration has sought financial autonomy for our 774 local councils. A fundamental challenge to our nation's advancement has been ineffective local government administration. The insecurity we are addressing is partly due to the collapse of grassroots governance. The renewed hope agenda is about ensuring that all Nigerians benefit from governance. Every generation has a defining responsibility. The generation of our founding fathers secured independence. The generation of June 12 secured democracy. Our generation must secure prosperity. Let us move forward together, rejecting division, cynicism, and despair, embracing unity, hope, and confidence. Let us build a Nigeria united by a common purpose, strengthened by diversity, where justice is accessible, liberty is secure, and opportunity is abundant. Among the architects of modern democratic Nigeria, we honor General Shehu Musa Yar'Adua for his vision of national partnership. In recognition of his contributions, the federal government has approved the refertilization and renaming of the completed Institute of Petroleum Studies, Kaduna, as the General Musa Yar'Adua University of Geological Sciences and Engineering Technology. I'm also pleased to announce the national awards to the following Nigerians who suffered persecution, endured indignity, exile, incarceration, and attack. Odion, Segun Babatope, Sam Omoseye, Sir Ademola Shinubi, Bola Bolawole, Ladeboniola, Femi Kusa, Debo Adeniran, Chief Ayo Padokun, Chief Raf Obiora, Ose Osayode, Barrister Osa Director, Professor Sylvester Odion Akai, Dr. Nwanko Posthumous, Dr. Osage Obayinwana, Joe Oke Odumake, Barrister Titus Mann, Joe Ibokwe, Richard Akeola, Ben Charles Obi, Posthumous, George Umba, Niran Malaolu, Major General Shola Williams, retired, Femi Aborishade, Jenkins Alumona, Gbemiga Ogunleye, Muyiwa Ade Kaye, Babajide Kolade Otitoju, Ike Okonta. We also recognize the soldiers, Democrats of the June 12 struggle. Major General M.A. Garba, Brigadier General Lawa Jafaru Isa, Colonel Umar Farouk Ahmed, Colonel Sambo Dasuki, Colonel Lawa Gwadabe, Brigadier Jonathan Ndan Temlong, Colonel Musa Shehu, Major General Chris Eze, Major General Aris Dama, Colonel Isa Jubrin, Major General Joseph Oshanokwe, Colonel Olusegun Oloruntoba, Olugbede of Gbede Kingdom, Lieutenant Colonel Api Kevas Bulus, Colonel J. Okai, Colonel Emmanuel Unduboeze, Lieutenant Colonel Yakubu Muazu, Brigadier Yaya Abubakar, the current Esunupe, who is already the holder of CFR title. The honored list will be released in the next few days. Fellow Nigerians, 27 years ago, many doubted democracy would survive here because of our diversity. Today, our diversity Colonel J. Okai, Colonel Emmanuel Unduboeze, Lieutenant Colonel Yakubu Muazu, Brigadier Yaya Abubakar, the current Esunupe, who is already the holder of CFR title. The honored list will be released in the next few days. Fellow Nigerians, 27 years ago, many doubted democracy would survive here because of our diversity. Today, our diversity sustains our democracy. The road ahead is steep, but June 12 reminds us, Nigeria do not break. We bend, we bleed, but we do not break. Let us renew our covenant that the labors of our heroes past shall never be in vain, and that our government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from this land. May God bless the heroes of our democracy. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. May God continue to bless us all. Happy Democracy Day.
Maggi chicken flavor with onions.
From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Apeon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please the sport.
Welcome to Romeo Pizza. Sink your teeth into our freshly baked pizzas. Loaded with rich sauce, melted cheese, and irresistible toppings. Where every bite is a love story. Treat yourself to our creamy, dreamy ice cream. Smooth, sweet, and made to brighten your day. Or maybe you want it hot and satisfying. Our juicy shawarma is wrapped to perfection, packed with flavor in every mouthful. Pizza, ice cream, shawarma. Why choose one when you can have it all? Romeo Pizza has exactly what your taste buds desire.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV, now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Yes, obviously everybody knows the game is beautiful and that's why I love sports. My name is Kizzy K. You're welcome to my republic. But remember, there can never be a transfer without a window. Just like there can never be a deep thinking without a Pep Guardiola in football. You can't say tennis without talking about Djokovic. So why not give me attention on the show so I can run your race on the TV like Lewis Hamilton Formula 1 star. Don't forget, when God have mercy on you, you can achieve your goals like Cristiano Ronaldo. I am a proud Nigerian, and right here, we talk NFF. For every sports update, commentaries, live interviews on the game, we got you on this, because right here at Voice of the People TV, the Sports Public Show has got everything just for you to be part of it. I love the beautiful game, and that's why Kizzy K loves sports.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get drum! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television. Don't just react, understand. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on
As the 2027 general election draws closer, the Alliance for Democratic Rights has called on government officials to uphold democratic values by drawing lessons from past leaders, including Olusegun Obasanjo, Goodluck Jonathan, and late Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. In a statement, the group's national president Andy Chooks and national secretary Suleiman Funtua expressed concern over alleged interference by the presidency in the internal affairs of opposition political parties, warning that such actions could undermine Nigeria's multi-party system ahead of the 2027 general elections. The organization also urged the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Joash Amukbiton, to uphold electoral integrity ahead of the forthcoming polls. As Voice of the People TV, we sought the opinion of Nigerians on this development.
In as much as the president is the person to appoint INEC chairman, there's nothing anybody will do to change the narrative, because he who called the piper dictates the tune. If it were to be well democracy is being practiced, the presidency doesn't have any hand in choosing who will handle the electoral umpire, like CBN governors, chief of army staff, police chief, and the rest of them. They don't have power on all those things. So when you call somebody to do a work, you are the one that appoint him or her. That person must do your biddings, irrespective of anything. If we call it compromising, that's a normal thing. It has been happening, and it will keep happening. So the issue of President Tinubu appointing INEC chairman is a free and fair entry for him. That's not anybody can do.
I would say when election wants to go on like this, immediately people are voting, they should be maybe uploading it directly
As the 2027 election draws closer, many are calling for accountability, independence of electoral institutions, and a level playing field for all political parties. Matthew Ogunswada, reporting for Voice of the People Television.
Nigerians, your voice matters, and in 2027 it starts with your permanent voters card, your PVC. If you're 18 and above and you're a Nigerian citizen, you have the right to choose who leads your community, your state, and your country. But that right only counts if you have your PVC and your name is on the voter register. Here's what to do. First, check if you're registered. If you're not, or if you've moved, lost your card, or turned 18 since the last election, go to the nearest INEC office or an INEC registration center. Second, it's free. Don't pay anyone for any registration or collection. Third, collect your PVC early. Don't wait until the week before elections. INEC will announce dates. Listen to radio, TV, and follow INEC's official pages. Your PVC is more than plastic. It's your power to hold leaders accountable. It's how you decide on roads, schools, hospitals, and jobs for your community. When you vote, you decide the future of your children. Get registered. Get your PVC. Vote in 2027. For Nigeria to work, you must be a part of it. Your vote, your future, your responsibility.
This message is brought to you by Voice of the People, VOP Media.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
Across several regions of Nigeria, communities continue to grapple with insurgency, banditry, and kidnappings, raising fresh concerns over whether increased defense spending is truly translating into improved safety for citizens. The security crisis shows no clear signs of abating in 2026. Reports indicate that no fewer than 1,091 lives have been lost to violent attacks. Additionally, about 3.7 million Nigerians have been displaced, now scattered across nearly 3,900 camps nationwide. In recent development, at least 23 people were killed and 108 others injured following a series of suspected suicide bombings in Maiduguri, one of the deadliest attacks in the Borno state capital in recent times. These troubling figures continue to raise a critical question: what can be done to end insecurity in Nigeria? Responding, Nigeria's Vice President Senator Kashim Shettima restated the federal government's resolve to defeat terrorism, declaring that those behind recent attacks in the country will be decisively confronted. As Voice of the People TV, we sought the opinion of Nigerians on this growing concern.
The federal government, that's one of their major role in keeping the safety of Nigerians, as in they have to be very, very, very active in keeping the safety of Nigerians, because that's one of their major priority. So, and again, as we individual, you have to be very, very vigilant. If you see someone that is not familiar with in your area or in your environment, you have to alert the security operations, because you can see if sometimes you might be in your street and you see some new strange faces around you. So when you see such thing, at least you can call the security or maybe the vigilantes in your area. So with this, we can be able to curb the insecurity in our area.
The government should step up its action against it. Especially, I believe that the government has the capacity to do that. There was a time they were talking about state police. They need to hurry up in this issue of state police to equip them effectively, because the state police are people that will be taken from the indigenes, people that are familiar with the terrain. So this kind of people can easily understand what's going on around them. They can easily arrest the situation, because it has gone to the level that the insecurity issue cannot be downplayed.
Everybody is feeling the pains here and there. The security is a major issue that I pray that our president and his men will be able to tackle so that Nigeria be more safer. Because without insecurity, the economy cannot really move. And without insecurities, nobody can be at peace. Without insecurity, even government itself will not be at rest. So we pray that sincerely, this government will have the courage to tackle the insecurity aspect. Once that is settled, I know Nigeria will be better.
As the nation continues to seek lasting solutions, many hope that decisive actions will be taken to restore peace and safeguard lives across the country. Matthew Okunswada, reporting for Voice of the People Television.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
The 2026 Niche Annual Lecture brought together policymakers, economics, traditional rulers and labor leaders to examine Nigeria's economic direction under the theme Governing the Economy, Choices and Priorities. The annual forum, organized by Niche, focused on governance, economic reforms, and the link between the political decisions and national development. In his welcome address, Managing Director and Editor-in-Chief of the Niche, Ikechukwu Amechi, said the lecture series was designed to promote national development beyond ethnicity, religion, and political affiliations.
In the last 3 years, we have, unfailingly, every Monday, drawn the attention of Nigerians to the incredible stories of young Nigerian entrepreneurs who are making giant strides in all fields despite the odds.
He said the platform also highlights young Nigerian entrepreneurs making impact despite economic challenges. Delivering the keynote lecture, Abia State Governor Dr. Alex Chioma Oti said Nigeria's economic challenges cannot be solved with quick fixes, stressing that long-standing structural issues require discipline and consistent reforms. He warned that unemployment, poverty, and weak institutions are outcome of years of poor governance and bad political choices.
There is no silver bullet for solving Nigeria's myriads of economic challenges, because economics is about cold, hard facts, not vanities.
Governor Oti linked economic decline to corruption, political optimism, and weak institutions, adding that leadership quality directly affects investment, job creation, and national stability.
Abia, I can say with every sense of conviction, is proof that economics cannot be separated from politics.
He cited Abia State as an example of how governance reforms can rebuild investors' confidence, improve infrastructure, delivery, and strengthen public institutions.
Investors respond not on emotions, but on hard facts. So have you created the enabling environment? If you've not created the enabling environment, businesses will not come.
Chairman of the occasion, His Royal Highness Muhammadu Sanusi, also weighed in on Nigeria's economic reforms, including subsidy removal and exchange rates. He said while the policies may be necessary, their timing and implementation remain critical.
You had to, when you get to a point where 100% of your revenue goes into debt service, you cannot continue. Where is the money going to come from?
Other discussants include Obi of Onitsha, His Royal Highness Igwe Inemeka Alfred Achebe, Nigerian Congress President Comrade Joe Ajeru, Dr. Jumoke Ogunleye of the University of Lagos, and banking expert Chief Anogwe Ayemu. They all stress inclusive governance, accountability, and economic policies that prioritize citizens' welfare.
First question everybody must ask of a governor or the president or a government is, what is the character of the state? That is what defines everything. Is the state a developmental state that's focused on the people? Is the state a rentier state that is a site for extraction of money by political elite? Is the state a kleptocratic state that just there to serve those who steal.
Speakers also urged Nigerians to take the 2027 election seriously.
Economics does not respond to emotions or sentiments. It is guided by thoughtful decisions and the judgment of those who were the instruments of power.
The forum ended with a shared call for stronger institutions, discipline, leadership, and more informed electorate as Nigerians navigate its economic future. From Victoria Island, I am Monica Gola reporting for Voice of the People TV.
Nigerians, your voice matters, and in 2027 it starts with your permanent voters card, your PVC. If you're 18 and above and you're a Nigerian citizen, you have the right to choose who leads your community, your state, and your country. But that right only counts if you have your PVC and your name is on the voter register. Here's what to do. First, check if you're registered. If you're not, or if you've moved, lost your card, or turned 18 since the last election, go to the nearest INEC office or an INEC registration center. Second, it's free. Don't pay anyone for any registration or collection. Third, collect your PVC early. Don't wait until the week before elections. INEC will announce dates. Listen to radio, TV, and follow INEC's official pages. Your PVC is more than plastic. It's your power to hold leaders accountable. It's how you decide on roads, schools, hospitals, and jobs for your community. When you vote, you decide the future of your children. Get registered. Get your PVC. Vote in 2027. For Nigeria to work, you must be a part of it. Your vote, your future, your responsibility.
This message is brought to you by Voice of the People, VOP Media.
Are you looking for where to buy quality and original studio and musical equipment in Nigeria? Welcome to Iruka Online, Nigeria's biggest musical and sound equipment warehouse. Your trusted home for top global brands, reliable low-priced alternatives, and 100% original musical accessories. With over 60 locations nationwide and open 7 days a week, we deliver unbeatable service and customer support you can count on. Shop online at iruka.com in partnership with world-renowned brands like Wolfdale Pro, Prisoners, Twile Keyboards, Fender and Jackson Guitars, Marshall Amplification, Mapex Acoustic Drum Set, Tech Electronic Drums and Accessories, Evans Drumheads, Ashdown Engineering, and many more. Iruka Online, powering your sound with quality you can trust.
The presidency has pointed to the recent rescue of 13 kidnapped passengers in Benue State, alongside a series of military operations across different parts of the country, as evidence that Nigeria's armed forces are recording significant progress in the fight against insecurity. In a statement signed by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, he maintained that the narrative around insecurity fails to adequately reflect ongoing counter-terrorism and rescue operation across multiple theaters. The rescued passengers were among 17 travelers abducted from a Benue Link bus on a journey from Makurdi to Tukpo. Security forces reportedly succeeded in rescuing 13 of them following coordinated operations in the area. Meanwhile, reactions have continued to trail the development as Voice of the People TV sought public opinions on the implication of such incidents and military responses for national security and public confidence and safety across the country.
You say anything concerning security in Nigeria here now? I only say to advise the government. One, mostly our security men, like police, army, and other things, they should be roaming about, at least by junction, bus stop to 2, 3, 4 bus stop. They will see them. But if they are not there, things will not be easy for us in this country. When 50 people will be guiding one big man, stay in somebody's house, following them up and down. If anything happen now, maybe bike or they stole bike or motor or kekena, you call them, you cannot see them because they are there securing the big men. They should come out, we, the poor men, and secure us too. Because before you see they kidnap a big man, it's hard. They kidnap those that cannot pay. And at the end of the day, they end up killing them. They should please help us to bring the security down to the poor people. Let us feed them.
One thing, the only thing I believe that is the best solution for Nigeria with the claimant is just that there's no how we want peace without violence. And we are all running for war. Once we can face the governments once, I believe everything is going to sort. So that's just it. There's no how we want peace without violence.
I think maybe it's up to the government, yeah. But they have been working on the security issue. So due to my own situation right now, I don't have much to say. So I think we keep open for the government to provide more maximum security for the state and the country.
As the call for security grows across the country, safety remains a key national issue as authorities continue to highlight both challenges and operational gains in the fight against insecurity. Matthew Okunswada, reporting for Voice of the People Television.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeats, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
Nigerians, your voice matters, and in 2027 it starts with your permanent voter's card, your PVC. If you're 18 and above and you're a Nigerian citizen, you have the right to choose who leads your community, your state, and your country. But that right only counts if you have your PVC and your name is on the voter register. Here's what to do. First, check if you're registered. If you're not, or if you've moved, lost your card, or turned 18 since the last election, go to the nearest INEC office or an INEC registration center. Second, it's free. Don't pay anyone for any registration or collection. Third, collect your PVC early. Don't wait until the week before elections. INEC will announce dates. Listen to radio, TV, and follow INEC's official pages. Your PVC is more than plastic. It's your power to hold leaders accountable. It's how you decide on roads, schools, hospitals, and jobs for your community. When you vote, you decide the future of your children. Get registered. Get your PVC. Vote in 2027. For Nigeria to work, you must be a part of it. Your vote, your future, your responsibility.
This message is brought to you by Voice of the People, VOP Media.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
Join us as we drive into the world of politics through insightful interviews with prominent political figures, both serving and former governors, ministers, senators, legislators, party chieftains, activists, and analysts. Get first-hand information into the decision-making processes that affect our daily lives. Highly engaging one-hour program that brings political discourse into focus.
I am Chukwuma Okoro.
Political Lens, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Join us.
At a press briefing in Alausa Ikeja, Lagos state officials defended the recent demolitions in Makoko, stressing that the exercise was strictly for public safety. Many of the affected wooden structures were built directly under high-tension power lines, posing serious risk to residents.
Was even drawing attention to Venice. As you look at a city like Venice, now Venice is built on water. And I thank him for drawing my attention to that. I told him that a few months ago I was in Venice, that I've been to Venice a couple of times, one of the cities that I love visiting. And that's what you have in Venice, can you compare to what you have in Mexico? In Venice, the local authorities say they don't want something, the people will not go and do it. I said, Makoko has been there. I can understand it's like an oil block for some people. A thriving one, a flourishing oil block. They go to Makoko and portray the people as being very poor, and portray the people as people who are pushed to be living in the conditions in which they are living by the government, and portray them as people who are hopeless. But they do not know that that is one side of Makoko that they have seen. But then, we all know what is behind all of this. They send such pictures overseas and tell the world that there have been a lot of things in Nigeria. Some will even go to Makoko on their birthdays and begin to share drinks and all of that. As if the people are beggars. I think this idea of denigrating people in order to promote yourself and your interest is very bad.
The special advisor to the governor on EGIS, urban renewal, Dr. Babatunde Olajide, says the urban regeneration is a top priority for the Babajide Sanwo-Olu administration. He explained that the plans aim to create a safe and conducive environment for residents while improving infrastructure and sanitation.
If we do not do them, then we are endangering the lives of the people that we signed and swore and vote to protect. As a result of that, you have something, areas are being classified action areas. This governor has actually not classified any area as an action area. This has been done during the time of Asiwaju, during the time of BRF, during the time of Governor Ambode. But you see, we cannot continue to just designate areas, you have something as slum areas or blighted areas when we have not even tackled the ones that we have on ground. There is no need to be trying to go to other areas. So we are only still dealing with the things that we found in the books. However, we need to do it, and I've explained all of these things to you. These are things that we have to do in a systematic way. We have to do it according to international conventions. What we all signed to at the Rio de Janeiro conference in 1992 in Brazil is that everybody is entitled to adequate shelter. Adequate. Not shelters that are dangerous.
Dr. Olajide revealed that the state has committed $2 million as counterpart funding for Makoko regeneration, with an additional $8 million expected from the United Nations agencies. Residents affected by safety-related demolitions in Palirura, Oniru, Bombata Market, and other areas have been compensated. The government confirms the core Makoko fishing settlement was untouched. Officials emphasized that the Water City project and broader regeneration of the waterfront communities will continue to design to protect lives while improving living conditions for the residents. From Alausa Ikeja, I am Monica Ogolo, reporting for VOP TV.
This is African News on Voice of the People Television, where we don't just bring you the news, we bring you Africa's heartbeat, the policies that shapes our world, and the economy that determines our future. African News on Voice of the People Television. Stay with us.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get dry. Hunger no get
and scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
Are you looking for where to buy quality and original studio and musical equipment in Nigeria? Welcome to Iruka Online, Nigeria's biggest musical and sound equipment warehouse. Your trusted home for top global brands, reliable low-priced alternatives, and 100% original musical accessories. With over 16 locations nationwide and open 7 days a week, we deliver unbeatable service and customer support you can count on. Shop online at iruka.com in partnership with world-renowned brands like Wolfdale Pro, Prisoners, Twile Keyboards, Fender and Jackson Guitars, Marshall Amplification, Mapex Acoustic Drum Set, Tech Electronic Drums and Accessories, Evans Drumheads, Ashdown Engineering, and many more. Iruka Online, powering your sound with quality you can trust.
Welcome to Romeo Pizza. Sink your teeth into our freshly baked pizzas. Loaded with rich sauce, melted cheese, and irresistible toppings. Where every bite is a love story. Treat yourself to our creamy, dreamy ice cream. Smooth, sweet, and made to brighten your day. Or maybe you want it hot and satisfying. Our juicy shawarma is wrapped to perfection, packed with flavor in every mouthful. Pizza, ice cream, shawarma. Why choose one when you can have it all? Romeo Pizza has exactly what your taste buds desire.
Welcome to Golden Tulip, where every stay is a celebration of comfort and style. Discover beautifully designed rooms crafted for your relaxation and peace of mind. Savor delicious, expertly prepared meals at our exceptional restaurants. Relax and socialize at our elegant lounge bar. Refresh yourself at the vibrant pool bar and enjoy a soothing swim in our sparkling pool. Planning something special? Our spacious and sophisticated hall provides the perfect setting for weddings, conferences, and memorable events. Whether for business or leisure, we deliver excellence with unmatched hospitality. Comfort, class, premium experience. Book today and elevate your hospitality experience. Airport Golden Tulip. Stay golden. Live golden.
Because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpillon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, with the sport.
Welcome to Romeo Pizza. Sink your teeth into our freshly baked pizzas. Loaded with rich sauce, melted cheese, and irresistible toppings. Where every bite is a love story. Treat yourself to our creamy, dreamy ice cream. Smooth, sweet, and made to brighten your day. Or maybe you want it hot and satisfying. Our juicy shawarma is wrapped to perfection, packed with flavor in every mouthful. Pizza, ice cream, shawarma. Why choose one when you can have it all? Romeo Pizza has exactly what your taste buds desire.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Yes, obviously everybody knows the game is beautiful and that's why I love sports. My name is Kizzy K, you're welcome to my republic. But remember, there can never be a transfer without a window. Just like there can never be a deep thinking without a Pep Guardiola in football. You can't say tennis without talking about Djokovic. So why not give me attention on the show so I can run your race on the TV like Lewis Hamilton Formula 1 star. Don't forget, when God have mercy on you, you can achieve your goals like Cristiano Ronaldo. I am a proud Nigerian, and right here, we talk NFF. For every sports update, commentaries, live interviews on the game, we got you on this, because right here at Voice of the People TV, the Sports Public Show has got everything just for you to be part of it. I love the beautiful game, and that's why Kizzy K loves sports.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television. Don't just react, understand. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. From the views on the streets
we go to bed empty hunger.
To the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264.
Who's really in control of the skies? It isn't just flight, it's power, it's politics, it's pressure sealed in steel. We're peeling back the clouds from runway risks to sky-high secrets. We're diving deep where most dare not to look. Aviation Scope, every Sunday at 7 p.m. only on Voice of the People TV. We don't just report, we reveal. We don't just ask, we uncover. Because when it comes to the skies, ignorance is turbulence. Aviation Scope, the sky isn't the limit, it's just the beginning.
On Edu Dialogue, we bring you fresh ideas and conversations shaping the future of learning in Nigeria and beyond.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpillon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening.
It's a beautiful Friday morning. Good morning and welcome to VOP this morning. Now, today is a very special day in our lives as Nigerians. June 12th, Democracy Day. The day that has been declared a Democracy Day because by our inactions, we were able to secure full democracy for Nigerians after a long stretch of military rule. And so, today is Democracy Day. It's been declared by the federal government of Nigeria. We have lined out very interesting topics of discussion for you. Before we talk about the democracy, we'll talk about other things too. In the world of insecurity, my government inherits problems to solve them, not to abandon them. That's coming from Tinubu. A state police bill passes second reading. Away from that, xenophobic attacks. First batch of repatriated Nigerians arrived in Lagos from South Africa. Plus, 210 trillion naira NNPCL gate. Senators disown Mele Kyari. Arrest warrant rebukes Oshomole. Now, these are the major topics of discussion. But beyond that, we also have other interesting topics of discussion that will weigh in the course of the show. But before we get into all of that, today is a special day for us on this desk. It is the birthday of beautiful, delectable Mrs. Jane Ogoye. Happy birthday, Jane.
Thank you, Mr. Okoro.
So where is the groove
That's
at?
why I have you, and that's
where
why I have
Where is
Moses.
the groove at? Where is the party
That's
at?
why I have Moses, and that's why I have you. I'm so excited because I have you guys. Thank you so much.
Well, I think the birthday is actually tomorrow.
You're old enough to be old.
I'm old
The
enough.
birthday is actually tomorrow.
No, it starts today.
13th.
It starts today.
But she wants to claim the June 12th.
Exactly.
Euphoria.
She's a democracy child.
She's trying to claim it. No, she missed it. She missed it by
one
a
day.
few hours.
Or is it Democracy Day that missed her? Which one?
I missed it.
No, it missed you because,
It missed me,
you were here before the Democracy Day.
Thank
I
you
guess.
so much. Thank you.
Okay.
Good
Oh, well,
morning.
welcome to the
Yeah.
program. And yes, it is Democracy Day. So happy Democracy Day to Nigerians. June 12th. Oh, well, the president gave a speech this morning. And we'll just take a quick look at some of the things that the president said this morning as Nigeria celebrates Democracy Day. I think it's 27 years now.
Yes, it is.
27 years.
It is.
27 years down the line. And yes, of course. So, yes, the president, just a few points from the president's speech this morning. He commemorated the June 12, 1993 democratic struggle, paid tribute to pro-democracy activists and leaders who fought for military rule. He also called on Nigerians and lawmakers to strengthen democratic institutions through dialogue. The president also rejected claims of a one-party agenda. He basically directly addressed concerns that the ruling party is trying to create a one-party state. He stated that he does not support a one-party system and argued that political competition is essential for Nigeria's democracy. We'll let you listen to the president shortly, but a few other things that he talked about. He defended his economic reforms, of course. Defended it, said, look, we are working. He pointed to some improvements in what some would call macroeconomic indicators. Foreign reserves, tax reforms, investment, attraction, even though some Nigerians will argue with some of those, And he also focused on youth and economic opportunities. He told us about his administration's student loan program, consumer credit initiative, digital infrastructure, expansion, and employment-focused policies aimed at young Nigerians. But you see, there's a lot to argue with when it comes to some of these things. The student loan initiative, credit loans. Nigerians are asking who and who benefits really, and what's the price to pay for some of these things. Anyway, let's have you listen to a few excerpts from the president's address this morning. Take a listen.
Democracy fails when citizens doubt the process. To our National Assembly, judiciary, the press, and civil society, you are the guardrails
of our republic. Criticize me, disagree with me, but never stop believing in Nigeria. To our young people, Nigeria is your home and your future. Build here, code here, work here, and food here. Every great nation was built by those who stayed to solve problems, but not by those who abandoned ship. To our armed forces, police, and intelligence services, Nigeria salutes your sacrifice. To our traditional rulers, faith.
Turn your Indomie moments into mega wins. Every week you stand a chance to win mega prizes. Just
Joy democracy. I salute labor leaders, journalists, activists, students, women, professionals, political leaders, and soldiers, both those who passed and those still with us, for their patriotic contributions. Though this year's mood is dampened by the abduction of our children in Yoyo and Borno, we remain hopeful for their safe return. Democracy without security is not solid enough. That is why this administration has chosen both kinetic and non-kinetic strategies to restore peace, declared a security emergency, and approved the recruitment of 50,000 new police officers and thousands of military recruits. Our 2026 budget commits 5.41 trillion, our largest ever, to defense and security. We have moved from training with our allies to precision targeting. In Arege, we degraded ISWAP and command centers. Terror-related deaths are down by 81% since 2015. Over 13,000 terrorists have been neutralized in the past year. But we also keep the door of surrender open. Over 124,000 fighters and dependents have laid down arms since 2023. Through Operation Safe Corridor, we turn our former enemies into citizens because every life saved is a victory for democracy. To bandits, kidnappers, and sponsors of terror, surrender or face the full force of the Nigerian state. These windows of surrender will not remain open forever. No mercy will be shown to those who trade in blood of Nigerians. At a time like this, let us not assign blames or point fingers. Crime has no ethnicity. We must stand united and be assured that the enemies of our nation shall soon be history. We will triumph over terror and continue to build a more prosperous nation. June 12 occupies a sacred place in our national memory. It represents more than an election. It is a defining chapter in our history. We remember Chief MKO Abiola, who won a pan-Nigerian mandate transcending ethnicity and religion. We remember Alhaja Kudirat Abiola. We also remember Chief Ganifa Emi, Chief Bola Ige, Chief Alfred Rwani, and Pa Abramadesoya, Chief Anthony Enahuru, Alhaji Balarabe Musa, Commodore Dan Suleiman, Beko Ransom Kuti, Franco Kori, Arthur Nwanko, Chima Obani, Sheu Musa Yadra, and the many other heroes and heroines of democracy whose sacrifices helped secure the freedom we enjoy today. As beneficiaries of their struggle, we have a duty to strengthen and deepen the democratic institutions for which they fought. The greatest tribute we can pay is to build a Nigeria where freedom is protected, justice is upheld, opportunity is expanded, and government is accountable. June 12, 1993, revealed the possibility of a true Nigerian nation. The heroes of June 12 secured political freedom. Our challenge is to secure economic freedom. Democracy must be felt in the quality of people's lives, in opportunities for youth, in prosperous farmers, successful entrepreneurs, and the dignity of our work.
All right, there you have it. And
the reforms
those are just clips from the president's speech this morning. And the one that got me was terror-related deaths down by 81%. I mean, a lot of Nigerians will disagree with that. Nigerians, well, it's a technical figure that the president arrived at. That's quite technical, because if you look at insurgency, terror-related deaths by Boko Haram, specifically at the peak around 2014, 2015, where they take over entire communities, entire local government areas, and the rest of them, you can say, okay, compared to what we have now, it's down by some percentage. But that's speaking to Boko Haram. But we have Lakurawa, Mamuda, we have a lot
ISWAP.
of ISWAP, we have bandits, we have unknown gunmen, we have, so we have quite a lot now.
There's more spread now.
Yes, there's
in
more
terms
spread.
of capture.
Yes. And now they are kidnapping people. Well, they may not be bombings like we used to have, but we still have terror-related deaths.
They are ransacking villages, burning
talking
down
about
houses.
terror-related deaths, I'm surprised that the president could come out with that figure. I mean, it's concocted, if you ask me. Because as at last count, in the 8 years of Buhari administration, according to a Punch newspaper report, so there were 66,000 deaths related to insecurity and all of that. So these figures are, my worry in all of this is that we are used to this, but just as an aside, June 12, we were able to secure June 12 as Democracy Day by the efforts, how can I put it, by the unfailing efforts of a group of people who said, well, this is what we need to do in Nigeria, because it was more like Nigerians made sacrifices and voted, and somehow we lost it. And you know what? How did it start? It started by the Southwest governors making June 12 public holidays in their states. So at some point, the federal government was left with no choice than to declare it a full national public holiday. I want Southeast leaders to borrow a leaf from this. If you want May 30th to be recognized as Biafra Day or
First
Igbo
recognize
Day,
it within the
first
Southeast.
recognize it locally in the Southeast. Let the governors take up that challenge. Every May 30th, declare public holiday. Not sit at home or what, but public holiday. Maybe, and just maybe, with time, the federal government will say, okay, let's now bring it into our... So, but if we keep saying we are fighting, don't come out and all of that, it will take us nowhere.
They're going about it the wrong way. Well, absolutely, absolutely. And I hope they're listening and they will take that advice. Well, let's quickly run to the papers now. Let's see what the papers have for us, and then we'll come back to this conversation much later. The Vanguard has these headlines: xenophobia, which of course is one of the conversations we'll be having this morning. FG evacuees slam South Africa over documentation claims. The writers there will get to in the course of time. Warri Federal Constituency, Ijo Ishekiri Urobo. Leaders meet Tinubu, agree to end protest. Democracy Day, Tinubu honors top journalists, generals, others for roles in struggle. CBN bans linked financial entities from extending loan to each other. And then we also have state police reps pass bill scaled second reading in Senate. And Davido protests or your school kidnapping at World Cup concert. Right? We gave Obi Kwankwanso free hand to pick candidates. Dixon speaking there. Mexico days South Africa in World Cup opener. Canada, Bosnia, trade tackles today. South Africa has lost support from other Africans, most definitely.
Yeah.
And it will
I'll
tell.
say a lot of jubilation.
It will tell. All right, there you go. Those are the headlines from the Vanguard newspaper.
The Punch newspaper, state police closer as NAS defines federal and state powers. Xenophobia, South Africa repatriates 586 Nigerians. Federal government panel uncovers prison feeding scam, pushes for 3,000 naira allowance. Democracy Day address, terror financiers will pay dearly, says Tinubu. Tinubu confers national honors on ex-Punch MD Oshunubi, Babatope, and others. Southwest governors playing politics with security. Those are the lead stories from the Punch newspaper.
And quickly from the Nigerian Tribune with the window headlines. Niger school abduction, court sentences 5 to 25 years imprisonment. Well, that's pretty fast.
That's fast.
Okay. 210 trillion naira probe. Senate overrules panel withdraws arrest warrant against Yari. Says Oshomole abused legislative powers. I acted under extreme provocation, ex-Edo governor. Well, he should be mindful of his conduct in public. NAP strike destroys terrorist enclave, kills cause in Lake Chad region. Troops, DSS raid IPOB, ESN in Enugu, recover rocket launcher rifles. Now the big story, Democracy Day. Tinubu restates determination to secure Nigerians with the riders. Says democracy without security a mirage. Assures Nigerians of economic freedom. Lists gains of his administration, bold reforms. Names Petroleum Institute after Shehu Yaradua. Honors Osinubi, Alake, Opadokun, Odumakin, Ishola Williams, Richard Akiola, others with national awards. Most stories from the Tribune. Reps vote for state police. 289 lawmakers approve bill. Senate defers voting till July. Again, the echoes of June 12. Warri Federal Constituency, Ijo Ishekiri Urobo leaders meet Tinubu, agree to end protest. That's it from the Nigerian Tribune newspaper.
And that's pretty much how far we can go on newspaper headlines. And we'll get into that in the course of the program. And then also newspaper review will deal with some of those headlines in the cover pages of the dailies. My government inherited problems to solve, not abandon them. Tinubu, a state police bill passes second reading. We'll also be looking at the President's Democracy Day speech in the course of the program. Join us as we have more for you right after this break.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People television, where your health has a voice.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. From the views on the streets,
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lawn.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents,
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Well, before we talk of the impact, we need to talk of where we're coming from. When this administration came on, the president had promised us electricity, and actually said to us that he was going to make sure that there is electricity, and people were not going to be paying for estimated bill, and it was going to be available. So Nigerians were hoping for that. Businesses were looking forward to having electricity available and at an affordable rate. But what we have today is contrast to what the government has promised to us. Today, organizations are running more like everything they're doing, their profit, everything seems to be taken over or eaten up by electricity. And so it's difficult for a lot of business to survive in Nigeria. And it's difficult for us to begin to put our fingers on it to say, yes, we are benefiting from the dividends of democracy from this administration. Well, the supply itself is a big problem because, for instance, there is a hotel that has about 60 rooms. And on a monthly basis, they pay 27 million plus. And at the same time, they also run diesel for about 18 million. So by the time you add it, you find out that in a month, 45 million goes to the supply of electricity and their own supply of electricity by themselves. So it's not about the supply being available, but yes, the supply is epileptic, which we all know. The national grid keeps collapsing, and the cost, that comes with it is also very high. So it's difficult for anybody today in Nigeria to give a pass mark to electricity supply. Put it this way, most hospitality industries in Nigeria, especially hotels, some of them are paying 25,000 naira per day for electricity. 25,000 naira per day for electricity. That is not cheap. That doesn't come cheap at all. So if you're paying only for electricity for 25,000 naira, then you've not added your staff salary, you've not added maintenance, you've not added every other cost, you've not added the taxes you pay and all of that. So you find out that the price of the rooms are going higher. And that is why the patronage is reducing. So, and the purchasing power of Nigerians is nothing to write home about. So a lot of businesses are folding up. A lot of businesses are going under because of the bad policies of government, especially with electricity. And let's be honest with ourselves. If electricity was cheap, if it was available, if it was affordable, the president would not have opted to using solar and say, look, you guys go with your national grid, whatever happens to you. That's the impression we get. That's the impression Nigerians get today. Because for the president to opt to begin to use solar as against finding a way of fixing the electricity issue and ensuring that there is supply, ensuring that there is distribution, but he has opted to go and be on solar, it simply means that you guys can go to places. Well, the advice is simple. The government needs to begin to look at the way of cutting, bringing down the cost of electricity. The cost of everything in Nigeria today has gone haywire. As of today, people are buying 1 kilogram of gas, 1,006, 1,008. Some people are buying for 2,000. Petrol has been 1,003 to 1,005. And interestingly, the wages have remained the same. So it's becoming difficult, extremely difficult, not only for businesses to survive, but for the Nigerian people themselves to survive this economy. So the government must begin to think as if there is no box. Where did you get it wrong? We talked about subsidy is gone. Where is the money that has been saved from the subsidy? Loans have been collected. Where are the money being applied? So the government needs to begin to cut from its own self. I remember during the campaigns, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu said he was going to cut the cost of governance. But what we have today is an over-bloated cost of governance. And we cannot continue like this as a nation. We cannot. So the government needs to...
Welcome back. Thank you very much for staying with us. It's Democracy Day. So the President Bola Tinubu, represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, has insisted that his administration inherited deep-seated national challenges, not to abandon them, but to confront and solve them head-on. Citing infrastructure feats like the completed airport expressway to Kuje Road as proof of fulfilling promises and ending abandoned projects. Now, this came as both the Senate and House of Representatives advanced the contentious state police bill, passing second reading in the Senate and full passage in the Reps with overwhelming support. 289 to nothing, basically, with one person being absent. Now, this aims to decentralize policing powers, boost local intelligence, and tackle banditry, terrorism, farmer-header clashes, and mass abductions that Nigerians are going through right now. Well, the president, in his Democracy Day speech today, also reeled out the achievements of his administration. One of them is that terror-related deaths has reduced drastically to about 81%. Well, we will x-ray the president's speech in the course of the program. The president talked about public debt. So on the screen, you have a list of it, Nigeria's public debt under the previous administration and the current administration. But this goes all the way to from 2015 all the way to 2025, not including some more debts that we've gotten into in 2026. So you have it there. When Buhari took over power in 2015, it was around 12.12 trillion naira. And then by the time he left in 2023, Nigeria had accumulated a whole lot more. It had moved to 87.34 trillion naira. And then the president, Bola Tinubu, came in at the 87.34 trillion naira, and currently it has gotten to about 159.29 trillion naira. Nigeria's, that's speaking to Nigeria's debt profile. We do have with us in the studio Dele Fanimo, who is a public affairs commentator and an editor. Well, you've done business too. You know, you've really had your hands in a lot of things in the area of editing. You know, reporting labor activities, reporting business, reporting security, terror-related issues, health. You know, so you've been everywhere. Now, first off, let's talk about 27 years ago, June 12th, and how far we have come. You know, it was the Buhari administration that recognized June 12th as a public holiday. That was in 2018. And that recognition, how far Nigeria has come between then and now. Let's first talk about that. And where ordinary Nigerians expect Nigeria to be at this time, especially as it concerns democracy.
You see, if you go by the definition of democracy, government of the people, by the people, for the people. Now, there are three keywords: for, by, of. Now, when the military gave us May 29 as exit date, the then head of state, General Salami, nobody gave him a chance. Nobody believed him. And so many, I'm sorry to use this word, many charlatans took the opportunity and they came. And before you knew it, they became House of Assembly members, they became House of Reps members, became senators, and even became minister after the constitution of that regime under former general and now president, ex-president Olusegun Obasanjo. At that time, the nucleus of those who benefited from that transition were not those who went to the trenches to wrestle power from the military. It wasn't that military left on their own terms, but the pressure was extremely on them that they had to leave. Now, going down between May 29, 1999 and today, the off has not been naturalized.
Of the people.
Of the people. Because the outcome of elections most of the time are not a reflection, a true reflection of what the people desire. So there were manipulations, and we have seen a whole president who acknowledged that how he came to power was flawed, but he never left power until God took him. Now,
who do we blame
by
for,
the people
for the the of the people? Because
you see, of the people, let's not mix it up. Because in the
where's his?
look at
We'll be right back.
In a world where our shapes meet every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise. The voice.
The policy that shapes our economy that determines our future.
Every hour, buzzing. And we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People television, where your health has a voice.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpillon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, Leave it with us. Catch us on the Locker Room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not going to be taught, please discuss.
Welcome to Romeo Pizza. Sink your teeth into our freshly baked pizzas. Loaded with rich sauce, melted cheese, and irresistible toppings. Where every bite is a love story. Treat yourself to our creamy, dreamy ice cream. Smooth, sweet, and made to brighten your day. Or maybe you want it hot and satisfying. Our juicy shawarma is wrapped to perfection, packed with flavor in every mouthful. Pizza, ice cream, shawarma. Why choose one when you can have it all? Romeo Pizza has exactly what your taste buds desire.
Welcome to the Locker Room, the home of football television.
Well, thank you very much for staying with us. Yes. Now, we're speaking with Dele Fanimo on, democracy, Nigeria, the definition of democracy as it applies to us, for, of, by the people. But some have posited that Nigeria should create its own type of democracy, one that works with the people. In places like China, they have their own type, whatever they want to call it, but they have their type, what works for them. What are your thoughts on that? Should we redefine what truly works for us, not just as Nigerians, but as Africans, considering our diversity?
Now, before we went on break, I was saying that Chuma Ubani, Ransom Kuti, and Dan Suleiman were of the three major ethnic groups, but yet nobody knew them as Igbo, Hausa, or Yoruba. They were united in ensuring that the military leaves the space. But today, if anybody rises up, the only group of people that can stand up to say, no, we don't want this anymore, that people will listen to, are probably the South people that are not attached to these three major ethnic groups. Now, to your question, homegrown democracy. As long as we still have these fault lines, anything that is a shift from the norm, meanings will be read to it. Okay, these people, they want to take power by all means using these tactics. And it will not work.
How about we have a referendum of some sort to determine what works for us, considering our fault lines, considering our diversity?
You see, the only thing that I see that is plausible, a lot of people run away from it, is to go back to regional government.
Regional government?
Yes.
Okay,
and make the center weak.
Decentralize it.
And make sure that whatever is domiciled in your region serves your people. The advantage of that is, if I'm an Igbo man and somebody is extracting coal in Enugu and it tries to filter it away, I'll have that blood in me to challenge him that, look, no, this is our patrimony. You can't squander it. But because today it is on exclusive list, they say, if you don't take out, other people from other tribes can come and take it. So they allow things to go because they feel that what is not my own is not my own.
Okay, so apparently your position is that our democracy, is stagnating or stagnated because of the form of government that we practice, which is the federal system of government.
Yes.
That's your position.
Pseudo federalism, but in practice, unitary
federalism.
As some people have described, and it's not going to work.
It's not going to work. Okay. Now, your position, you seem to be of the opinion that in the past 27 years that our democracy, we have not made progress. We are still nascent. We are still fledgling after 27 years. Is that what it looks like?
If you say that we are fledgling or we are nascent, it's like you have a child 27 years ago and he's still like a toddler. You know? That obviously shows that child is stunted.
No,
our democracy is stunted.
Okay, that's we have not made progress.
We have not made any progress because every election cycle we recycle the same set of people with the same mindset, with the same value. How can you imagine somebody stealing 100 billion naira from a state and is still strutting about? And next election, that person will still be voted for.
Can we even take a look at the election that gave the 1992 election, which has been tagged the fairest and fiercest in Nigeria's history. I mean, looking back, today we have the Muslim ticket, which is an issue in Nigeria. But at the time, M. Kabiola and Tinubu, they were both Muslims. So I mean, as one who has covered the trajectory of the elections, how did we get here? That in 2026, we're talking about a Muslim ticket. We're talking about a Christian ticket. We're talking about a Muslim Christian ticket. How did we get so divided along religious lines? And is it possible that Nigeria can get back to that era?
It's not going to be possible.
How did things get this bad?
The only way we can get back to that era is when we devolve power from the center. If in Enugu State, in Southeast, what is the population of Muslims that are indigenous to Southeast? They are not going to complain that you are bringing a Christian team to the government. In Yoruba land, that we have equal stake, we can even allow it to pass.
Yeah.
You understand? For instance, in my state, Ondo State, most times it is Christian, and nobody complains. Now, our fault lines, which was deliberately accentuated by this politician, this group of politicians, is not going to leave us because the center is too powerful. And so they gravitate towards the center, pull the rung of power, the ladder of power, and use it to oppress the constituents.
Okay.
And as long as you have that, they are not going to leave it because it pays them. How many times have we heard that the 1999 Constitution is faulty? But what are the National Assembly members doing to make sure that these fault lines are removed?
It pays them
because it pays them.
Nobody wants to leave one's comfort zone.
Before up till now, these politicians, when they are on the round table, they don't use that to share national cake.
Okay. All right, and thank you very much, Delefanimo. Let's quickly run to Benin City, where we've been joined by Mr. Williams Edaye. Williams appears here in the capacity of a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Williams, and thanks for joining us on VOP this morning.
Good morning.
Beautiful. Now, happy Democracy Day to you. What's going on in Benin City? How are you guys celebrating the Democracy Day, June 12th? The president's speech that he read out the achievements and all that he said. How is it going on there in Benin City?
Well, I don't know if there is anything called democracy. At least I'm a public figure to some extent, and I can check my WhatsApp all through. There's nobody who is even saying or posting a video or anything related to democracy. And the government, nothing can to tell that today's democracy, nothing tangible to present to the people that today's democracy. In those states, and then the president's speech, just to defend his government, was giving a very, very, very inflated figures that are not accurate. And while I was stepping into the studio, I told that those things that the president, whatever he's saying, are the things that he's hearing from his aides, and they are feeding him with lies. think he should take his time, analyze and take information by himself and see how this country is faring. From his speech, the country is not faring well.
You said you're feeding him with lies. Is it? Yeah. You said you're feeding the president with lies, but if you fact check a few of those things, you'll realize that is it feeding with lies or using selective data? Because we need to be certain. If you look at selective data, you realize that Boko Haram insurgency, abductions, and killings, as it was in 2014, 2015, has reduced compared to 2025, 2026. Boko Haram as a body, they are, killing of an entire local government, terror-related killings has reduced when you compare that time to now. But we still have killings taking place. We have a proliferation of arms. We have a proliferation of terrorist groups in the country now. So on that basis, some would say, oh, there is an increase. But on the other basis, some would say there is a reduction. So is the government putting out selective data or just feeding our Nigerians lies?
The issue is this. The problem is just like they camouflage the whole issue. Whatever it is, they are all the same thing. Terrorists, they are the same thing. The terrorism activity in Nigeria are the same thing. It has even increased. You understand? Now the killing is even closer. They are doing it at will. So they just change the name and then give it another name, banditry, elders clash, and all that, and so forth and so forth. It is just the same thing. The power that they can adopt, then the Boko Haram situation, there was still adoption, killing of citizens. Then the banditry which were expressing that they are still into killing and adoption. So there's no difference, there's no change. Just that it has already increased, now gone out of hand. That then in 2015, 2016, they could not boast to come to flaunt their money, their ransom payment. They don't do that. Not to talk of doing giveaway on social media. Now, they are doing it. I don't want to go ahead of you. I would have preferred to go ahead because discussion for today.
Okay,
Okay,
Williams, you don't seem to be impressed with the president's speech. Does it look like nothing that the president said inspires you? Just one good thing that he said that inspires you, that gives you hope about Nigeria.
There is nothing said that inspired me. The coastal highway that they are using as the star boy project of this administration. The video that is also trending. Somebody died out of reckless driving because they've not completed the road up to now. But look at the amount of money that they have in that project. So whatever it is that you are going to is not reasonable. As being a president of this country, what's going on?
Williams,
that you're going to present a pitch. Why not seeing the rescue of those children who are in it?
Okay. Now the president did admit that there is economic hardship and that his government is working hard to ensure that he pulls Nigerians out of poverty. That didn't give you hope as well.
Okoro, when you go to buy Ford, the tell you the government recognizes that these things, but we are doing discount of 50% discount for you, or 25% discount for you. That is the government responsibility. I'm listening that we found ourselves. Some years ago, Britain, when they were into this economic recession, they told the citizens that there is going to be a total reduction in all utility bills by 10%. So what is it that the government is doing? The government is doing where the whole situation, the economic situation is biting out of the citizens. What are they doing about it? They are totally and also benefiting from it.
Williams, the president did say he called on civil society, he asked journalists, he asked Nigerians to criticize him, disagree with him, call him out, but not stop believing in Nigeria. Do you see this administration as one who accepts feedback, criticism, or who listens to the pulse of the people? In practical terms. Williams, do you get my question?
Yes, I get your question. There has never been any time they admit when people, citizens, call them. If you press 2 or they come with you with DSS. So there's not been any way that they've encouraged criticism. There's not been any way that they've encouraged criticism. I'll give an example. Here in Edo State, the party chairman of the ruling will come out categorically to tell you that if you criticize someone that is going to come for you. The other day was stressed that is going to deal with the journalists. There's nothing that this APC government has done appeal to the emotions of the people in any way, in any form. Come down to Edo State. It's full. The same flag are going there for excursion. That's a open glossary. So what is it that this APC nationwide they've done that can justify this democracy day that will make us look then look back and reflect and say, yes, this government have done well? Nothing.
All right. Dele Fanimo, let me come back to you now. Focusing on Democracy Day, the essence of it. MKO, the late MKO Abiola's fight was for the sanctity of the ballot. Basically, that was what his fight was, all about. How far have we achieved that? Now, the sanctity of the ballot. How far have we come in achieving that? And how much farther do we need to go?
Well, in terms of retrogression, yes, we are moving fast.
In terms of retrogression?
Yes, we are moving fast.
Wow.
So we're going backwards.
You can put your car in reverse gear.
Rather faster.
And you can be faster.
Moving forward.
There was a time an armed robber was reputed to have done 120 kilometers in reverse gear.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you now understand what I'm saying. I'm sure you are surprised.
Yes, I'm surprised because you imply that we are going back to where we are coming from.
We are regressing far more than where we are coming from. If in 1993 an election was judged the best all over the world, and now 33 years after, elections are more of a caricature of what happened then what are we doing? Are we making progress? We are only making progress in reverse gear. Those days, we had somebody like Humphrey Nwosu who stood and said, no, I have this result. At the risk to his life, let me announce. Can that happen anymore? I doubt it. Nobody would have probably, Tofa, that was on this other side, NRC, wouldn't have want to go to court to challenge that the outcome of that election if it was not annulled. But today, senior lawyers are feeding fat on our election. In fact, our judiciary is the INEC today. They can decide to overturn an election based on evidence provided. So what that means is INEC is a means to an end, not the end itself. So with all this, would you say we are making progress? No. Imagine a politician who knows that he can win election without the people voting for him. And in actual fact, he does. So what is the role of INEC in his emergence?
Yeah.
Judiciary, we had somebody who came forth in an election, and Supreme Court said he's the winner, and he's still there till today.
Can we even examine the president's body language, Dele, during his speech, where he said he actually called on the bandits to surrender, that they still have some time. Let's examine his body language. Is that stern enough? And do you think that his body language, what is his body language? How can you interpret it? I mean, in that
My
regard,
interpretation, simple, is that the political will, the zeal,
isn't there
to exterminate this, because that is the only language we want to hear. These people are unrepentant. Somebody who was captured and he said he had killed 30 people. He was not losing count. He was having an inventory of human beings that have been killed. And he said he sucks their blood after killing them. Now, what form of rehabilitation can you give to that person? At the point of sucking human blood, already you are a vampire. It's like a lion. If a lion attacks or tiger attacks human being and kill, that different taste of salty flesh would make him gravitate towards looking for another human being. And that's why they kill them. Once you taste the blood of a human, you are supposed to just go down. And it takes just one kill to become a serial killer.
All right. Let's take this conversation virtually now. We have Chief Barrister Asim Adams joining the conversation. First, I'd like to establish communication with you. Good morning to you, Asim Adams. Welcome to the conversation. Happy Democracy Day to you as well.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but we wait to see your face, actually. Let me see how excited you are.
Good morning and happy holiday.
Happy holiday. Well, we hope that we can get your video feed so we can see your face in the course of time. But before that is done, let's stay with the audio. Now, the president did say, and that's the information, that's the data actually, 5.41 trillion naira has been put into defense from the 2026 budget. Now, with that much money going into defense, how would you rate, what would you say the issue is? Why Nigeria hasn't, reduced the issue of insecurity in the country? So we're putting in a lot in defense, but then we're not getting much out of it. How do you react to that? 5.41 trillion naira from the 2026 budget dedicated to defense to combat insecurity. How far have we gone with that fight?
Okay. They see it's corruption. Corruption. If you look at it, if I want to ask a rhetorical question, I will also ask, how come we are putting billions of dollars into our refineries and none of them is working? None of them is refining crude oil for the use of the nation. How come also that according to some state governments and even the federal government, billions have been put, into the health sector, but none of them is functional? It's corruption. When you begin to see a former chief of army staff owning properties in Saudi Arabia, in Oman, America, you see military officers in Nigeria today, you go around our GRAs, some of the biggest buildings and most magnificent buildings around are owned by top military brass. So it's corruption. When you put in so much money and nothing is coming out, it means that there's corruption. And that is why we cannot defeat the bandits. A good example, talking about periscoping defense, is that you remember that the administration of Buhari, they said they bought some Tucano jets. But those Tucano jets later found not to be working. They are not in good condition. Because when they were procuring those things from America, they told us that the moment they bring in those jets, they can locate bandits even 1 million kilometers away and strike. Now, where are the Tucano jets? Nobody is saying anything about this. So it is corruption. That is where I put it. Now, how can you tell me that the Minister of Defense, for instance, when this young man got to that place, I was laughing. I was laughing at the young man, shouting at the top of his voice to ask them where is the 5.1 billion or whatever trillion, whatever they put in there. I said, this is not. You will shout and shout from now till tomorrow morning. Nobody's going to answer you because even the people you are talking with are not the ones who are in charge of that money. The top brass, the military top brass are the ones. Now, why have we not won or even reduced terrorist activities in Nigeria? Because of the fact that corruption, 2, complicit nature of the military or the armed forces, complicit nature. The third one is political, where you begin to see the Northern Elders Forum asking Tinubu to do or declare state of emergency on the security sector, but they have not made a single voice, note to the bandits and terrorists who are fellow Muslims like they are, to say, please, we've had enough. We've had enough, and urging communities and the Muslim Ummah to go out and help stamp out this banditry.
Okay.
Because it has been established that half, if not all, of the bandits and terrorists terrorizing Nigeria today are Muslims. Let us not hide it. Half of them or all of them, because they speak the language, they also use the conventions of Allah to perpetuate whatever they are doing.
Okay, all right.
So why have the Sultan, why have the Northern Elders Forum not spoken against them and said, enough of this?
Enough of this, as the case may be. So now, Barrister Adam, you said something in passing like corruption, everything has been enmeshed in corruption, and because of that, we can't travel far in the war on terror. I'd like to ask you, last week, the Senate president said, well, no, this is not the best time, to probe military spending. What's your reaction to that?
That is what I'm saying, because he knows that maybe he is complicit. Maybe he knows because they are the ones that approve that budgetary allocations to the military. And maybe some things have passed on the hand. And if they are to probe they have to probe the military, that he will be directly involved. Because I see no reason why the Senate president will make such statement and even kill that particular motion on the floor of the House. Whereas the Senate, the House of Reps, under Section 62, under Section 88, under Section 89, have that oversight functions over the military in terms of probe. The Senate, under Section 62, can set up, the Constitution says, when they suspect something wrong in terms of corruption, they can set up a committee. So if the Constitution gives you the power to set up and probe the military, why kill the bill or that motion on the floor of the House? It means that the Senate president is complicit and some other officials are complicit, because in Nigeria here we have
all right.
that for them to approve your budget for you, you must have to tip them and give underhand funding.
Okay, now, Barrister Adams, let's talk about democracy. Today is June 12, Democracy Day. You are in River State, you are in Port Harcourt. The preparations, how are people celebrating? Are Nigerians happy that we are celebrating 26 years of democracy and all of that? And in your assessment, have we made progress in the past years of this fourth republic? What's your take on that? First of all, I'd like for you to tell us, what's going on in River State preparations. People are happy, public holiday. Oh, we thank God we have democracy now, not the military and all of that. What's the reaction of Nigerians, people on the streets of River State?
People here are lugubrious. People here are downcast. We are looking forlorn, and we are looking bigoted. If you look at it, though it's raining, it's raining cats and dogs in Port Harcourt, where I'm speaking from. But yesterday and even today, many people are gnashing their teeth because you say it's Democracy Day, but this is Stagnation Day. This is the day that particular yoke was placed on our head. There is nothing wrong with democracy, but the way and manner we practice democracy in Nigeria is the problem. Now, let me tell you something. You talk about dividends of democracy. What are dividends of democracy? The foolish Nigerians, I'm sorry I use the word, those who support them, we say that the man is trying. But the welfare and security of all Nigerians is why you are in government. Section 15, 16 talks about education, policy, how you have to manage education, how you have to give health care to us. None of this has been done by this government. If you have the most terrible or horrible sickness in Nigeria today, please, you are close to the grave because the hospitals cannot provide shelter and succor for you. Cancer patients in Nigeria are dying in thousands, not because they don't even have, some have the money to buy the medications, but the medications are out of reach. Even when the government or the NGOs send them to in Nigeria here, they will hold them and begin to sell them at whatever price. Is it health? Is it security? We have 46 young kids in the forest. They are not in space. They are within the perimeter fencing and sovereignty of Nigeria on our soil. And the government cannot go there and bring them out. And you are celebrating democracy.
All right.
Whereas the fulcrum on which your democracy rests is security and welfare.
Interesting.
You are very able to secure
you just taught me another word.
Asking us that we are doing democracy, that is it's heart-rending.
Barrister
Asim
Adams.
You know, in nature, that we have this kind of situation forcing on us. I mean, I feel so sad this morning. Let me put it so succinctly straight.
All right then. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Barrister Asim Adams?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes. Well, you just gave us another word this morning. Lugubrious. Okay. I had to look that one up immediately. Facial expression. It speaks to facial expression, looking excessively sad, mournful, and the rest of it. But how much of the current economic pain can be attributed to necessary reforms? And then how much of it can be attributed to policy execution failures?
That is the problem we're having right now. When you have it, if you have, let me not begin to periscope the president. When you have a government, you know, that is lacking ideas, and you have a government that is lacking compassion, all policies under that particular government will crumble like pack of cards, as we say. That is what is happening right now. The policies that they are putting up, what are the kind of policies are they putting up? These are anti-people policies. And when you begin to put up plutocratic policies, it will only benefit the few and not the majority. What we call the anti-people policies. But we put up popular policies that are benefiting or beneficial to the people. You don't even need anybody to come and interpret the laws for you. It trickles down immediately. So this is the problem we are having in Nigeria here. The policy directive and drive in Nigeria is so obfuscating. It's so mendacious. You see, when you look at what goes on, it's all lies. These are policies coated with sweet, whatever as case may be. The moment you lick that particular whatever, the sweetness goes up. The realities now begin to see you and focus on you. So for me, a government that is inept cannot even bring up policies that will benefit the masses. A government that is corrupt cannot even do or bring up policies that will benefit the masses. A government, that has work like the animals in the Serengeti can never be a government that will be people-oriented or populist, as case may be.
Barrister Asim,
yes.
You've painted a very grim picture. In fact, listening to you, I do know it's the reality of most of us here as Nigerians. It's almost as though there's nothing to rejoice or celebrate about. I mean, when you look at this current administration. So are you saying that this administration doesn't even have a pass mark in any area? Is it a total failure?
The pass mark they seem to have is facetious. Facetious pass mark is socially to you. How can you, as a father of the house, you say that you have 2 billion in the bank account, but you cannot feed and train your kids? That is what is happening in Nigeria today. Yes, I can give kudos to the macroeconomics of Tinubu and his administration. Yes, that is, they are saying that they have increased the foreign reserve or whatever. I don't know where that reserve is. Whether it's close to Pluto, whether it's in Mercury. I don't know where the reserve is. They said they have 50-point-something billion. You know, they grew it from 35 billion to 50-point-something billion naira, somewhere hanging somewhere. But you have such, we cannot feed. You have such, electricity, we don't have. You have such, you are still borrowing 5 billion. You have such, you are still taking 2.2 billion from Paris Club, etc., as this may be. What kind of voodoo type economics is that? So I ask the question for those who are hailing them that yes, we're able to keep money in the bank account. So because you kept the money there, we should all suffer. Is that a good government? No, I don't think so. On the area of infrastructure, yes, the roads, they are saying that the coastal road, the whatever as case may be, as important and imperative as that particular projects are, I am asking if you want to prioritize, will for you to say you are benefiting from it directly just now? I don't think so.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Barrister.
I am not saying, I have to be very objective. Yes, they have made 1 or 2 inroads. I've scored them. Let me give them some flowers. You know, economy is not doing well. Macroeconomics, they are doing wonderfully well. But, you know, microeconomics, they are failures, as the case may be. And if the macro overweighs or overrides the micro, then the people are bound to suffer for a very long time. That is what is happening in Nigeria today.
All right, thank you.
Voodoo types economics, as I say.
All right, thank you,
Voodoo
Barrister.
type.
Thank you, Barrister Astin. Let's bring this back to the studio. Dele, voodoo type governance, politics. What's your assessment?
Well, Barrister Astin has attempted to clear the doubts. Now, what we are made to understand is that, and in real terms, macro precedes micro economy. Macro is just the foundation on which the micro economy is built. Because at some point, when there are conflicting reports and figures or data, you tend to be confused as to what to believe. But if going by the president's speech this morning, that on the macro level, we are doing well, then I would have expected that he would make a promise as to when it starts dropping to the micro level, that the average Nigerian will be able to get the impact. But we have not seen all of that.
The president said during his speech that he's sending 10,000 tractors to farmers, Nigerian farmers, to bring down the prices of foodstuffs. And I'm wondering, can the farmers go to farm? 10,000 tractors. Would that translate to more food on the tables of Nigerians, the average Nigerian? Would that bring down the cost of feeding? Is it even realistic?
Now, let me tell you, it is none of federal government's business to distribute tractors. That is where we always get it wrong. And that's why I said federal government is too top heavy. Now, if you give me tractor in my local government and the roads are bad and bandits, herdsmen are coming to feed on my cassava with AK-47 in their hands, the purpose of giving me that tractor is defeated. because I'm not going to use that tractor. And when I was growing up, I worked briefly in the local government. Tractors, earth-moving vehicles were owned by local government. In fact, farmers come there to hire some of this equipment to plow, to plant, and to weed. Now, a farmer in Benue will now be waiting until federal government releases tractor. Before it gets to the state government, already they are distributing to party stalwarts who may not ordinarily be farmers. And when that man gets it from the state governor as part of his own largesse, quote and unquote, he's going to give to that local government chairman a certain amount, which he considers as his own democracy dividend. And then the local government chairman will now hire that tractor to that farmer, who may not eventually be a farmer, but get like 10 tractors. And then the original farmers will now come to hire at exorbitant rates.
But at the end of the day, the tractor ends up in the farm.
Even when it gets to the farm, can you go, if you go to your village today, can you go to the farm?
Okay, so the problem is not just bringing tractors.
The problem starts with the chain that would have defeated the purpose of getting that tractor. If you are getting a tractor ordinarily from the local government chairman, and he knows that the volume of produce you get at the end of harvest period would also make him comfortable and happy around the local government.
Exactly.
He was going to give it out
at
almost free. But now that same tractor, because it has passed through some chains that are not necessary.
No, your problem is that the tractor is coming from the federal government.
Yes, that's one of the problems.
Okay.
Then the tractors cannot be put to use because those powerful people in the forest will not allow you to access your farm.
But we have forest guards now. The president is employing forest guards.
Forest guard with what weapon? Haven't you seen videos of these people, the way they brandish all these firearms that are not even seen?
All right. Let's quickly go back to William Sejaye and get his own concluding thoughts on this conversation, and then we'll move to xenophobic attacks. The first batch of Nigerians, about 286 of them, have been brought back to Nigeria. William Sejaye, now you didn't want to go ahead of us the other time. That gives the impression that there's a lot more you want to talk about. So let's have you say all those things you want to talk about now as you gave us your concluding thoughts.
Yes. So on still the issue, where daily animal stuff, issue of tractor and all that, the assessing the farmers, those a process to which the tractor gets to the farmer are the issues. That is that farmers will never eventually see the tractors to use. They may even be sold to other companies. You understand? So the problem is this democracy in this country, in Nigeria, it is not benefiting the people at all, because you see the senators who are also defending the administration, defending corruption, are also part of the problem. I will explain to you. Democracy is this: when you get to power, you have to go back to the same people who give you the power in the first place, and then you relate to them. And these are that. They talk to you, and then you go back to the government again. Together, and then you put the result first back to. It doesn't necessarily need to stop with you guys there, because the democracy that we have seen. Go and check. There are 50 states in America. To a large extent, the states are even powerful than the central, than the federal government per se, because they are that is the direct issue of democracy. That's the direct practice of democracy. The governments are there, not supposed to be providing that. They are supposed to be monitoring the states. The major issue is to do the international defense, do other important things that are not supposed to be related to states. The federal government are supposed to be doing less if you are going to go through the issue of democracy. But here in Nigeria, everything is so centered that governors need to beg, need to kneel down You even have to be converted. You will say, oh, okay, from today I pledge to am an APC member. I think that
all right, then. Thank you very much, William Tajaya. This will be a good place to anchor the conversation. Let's move on to another, talking about xenophobia in South Africa. Xenophobic attack, first batch of repatriated Nigerians arrive in Lagos from South Africa. You find pictures, some of the dailies captured some Nigerians thanking their God when they arrived at the international airport, the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. Let's come back from this break and talk about this.
In a world where power shifts with every headline.
In a nation full of questions.
In a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People television, where your health has a voice.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpayon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not going to the talk, please the sport.
Welcome to Romeo Pizza. Sink your teeth into our freshly baked pizzas, loaded with
Welcome back. In a heartbreaking scene at the Lagos Murtala Mohammed Airport yesterday, Thursday, the first batch of 268 Nigerians repatriated from South Africa over escalating xenophobic violence touched down via Air Peace Airlines around 10:30 a.m. Many of them have been sharing their raw stories of trauma, loss, and struggling abroad. Let's listen to some of the videos.
So, my name is Millie Abu. I've been in South Africa for 23 years. So being there, I haven't obtained any papers because, the system is quite difficult. And then also you have to go through a lot of process before you can obtain the papers. And then when I was there, I was a tutor. I also had a spa that I was running, but at a certain time, the police came in there and then they had to take everybody out of there because we didn't have proper documentations to own a salon or a spa or a beauty spa. Yeah.
So when the xenophobic, I'm sure you told us it's the officials that came for your spa.
Yes.
But when the xenophobic attacks,
Emilia Godwin. I am still saying it. Now in my country, I have my mouth to speak. They are wicked. They are wicked and wicked. They don't like us. If you enter a taxi, they make jest of you. They pull you. They beat you.
We're just like a snake there. We are just like a snake there. We don't have mouth to talk. We don't even have mouth to talk. We talk too much. They will start hitting, speaking their language. I will never go to South Africa anymore. If this my child is born there, she will never go to South Africa anymore. This great opportunity I've been waiting for since 2014. I came to South Africa. I started seeing this sign 3 years, but I didn't see this opportunity to come back. They are wicked. The woman there is useless. Even though they saw that you are married, don't care. They want to have a child with Nigerian man so that they can take their property and kill them. The way they kill my husband. So I cannot go back to South Africa anymore.
Dele, let's examine this. This morning on my way here, I did read a story in the papers where Governor Uzodinma said he's gifting the Imo indigents 1 million naira each, and then MTN has promised them 500,000 naira worth of credits and 250,000 naira worth of data for a year for the returnees. Is this enough compensation? And how do you think the government can also react? Because I think it's enough. Don't you think it's time they stop treating South African government, the diplomacy with kids' glove?
You see, for me, I'm not really so comfortable with the idea of just doling out money to people. In real terms, what are you going to do with 1 million naira? But I was expecting that government, like these state governors, should have a particular cluster where you have meeting with them, let's know their background, where they are useful, and then provide them training on a particular vocation that they are just doing without understanding the nitty-gritty of that profession or vocation. Then give them startup. For instance, I would have expected that if somebody is a seamstress, maybe you train that person further on fashion designing, that it will be able to fit into that particular profession. And then in 6 months, buy equipment for that person. One, that person is not going to take those equipment and sell. He's going to utilize that equipment. Then other people will benefit from her. She will have apprentices that she will train. And then you do some kind of monitoring to ensure that they don't derail from what you have. It will be better, not just 1 million naira. Some of them are so used to spending that 1 million naira is not even enough to buy wig.
Oh, wow. It had to be a wig. Okay, let's take Williams. Williams, please, may we have your views on this? Giving them soft skills, training them, is that enough to reintegrate them back into the country? What else can be done?
That's the right approach. Because I see no reason what 1 million will do. Do you know what the situation of the country? They don't really know what the situation is now of the country. They will say it, but they are back to reality. Give it somebody who comes with a family. Let it go to the market with 100,000. If they will get enough, and then you get 4. You understand? That's a big smart issue. 500,000 for airtime. What is the meaning of that? That's an insult to me. 240 data. Rubbish.
All right.
The same organization that is benefiting from Nigeria, and it's an establishment from South Africa. That is a direct insult.
Okay. All right. Williams, quickly. You don't agree with what MTN is doing now. There's an argument there. Now, some Nigerians are not agreeing, with the idea of having to rehabilitate these people. Someone at a place where I was last night, and they were discussing these hopes or the malages, and they said, someone asked, okay, these people are coming from South Africa. Apparently, they ran into problems. And so the people in Imo State, how much has the governor, done to uplift their lives? And one person said, how come that people went to South Africa and they ran into trouble and you are compensating them? If they had made money and become millionaires, when they come back, how much of that money do they give to Nigerian government? How much of that money do they give to Nigerian people? So what's your reaction to that sentiment? That, it's like, you got a problem, it's your problem. My problem is not our problem. Or your problem is not our problem. React quickly to that.
Anyway, that is to to me, they need to understand something. It's not their fault that they've been persecuted, and you must also understand that they may have run to some loss because of the things that are going. Their property must have been seized, their business damaged. So you just need to I have pity on them, because that is all I will say about them, because they are trying to say, okay, yeah, we are suffering, and then somebody is coming from South Africa. They believe that country they should be living over what they were passing through. Some of them must have been people broke than you that are coming.
All right.
So you see, you just need to just have pity on them. And
all right.
Let's do something.
All right. Thank you very much, William Setiaye. Barrister Asim Adams, let's have your reaction. You watched the video. Just a little over 200 of Nigerians brought back, more to come, using 5 aircrafts. And yes, so you also heard the testimony of some of them. The Nigerians are being persecuted terribly in South Africa. How do you react? Very quickly. Unfortunately, we don't have all the time to talk about this. I wish we did. Go right ahead, please. We're unable to get your audio at this time. Quite unfortunate, I must say. Well, to those who are saying, oh, well, we are here, well, the onus is on government to provide for Nigerians within Nigeria, but let's not abandon those that are that have fallen on hard times outside Nigeria and they have to be brought back to the country. I mean, this is where being one's brother's keeper comes to play. This would be where we wrap up this conversation, and I would say Nigeria should do more. A lot more Nigerians. And, you know, if you interact with these Nigerians, you will understand that for some of them, the fact that they were unable to renew their papers, it was a deliberate effort, a deliberate act by South African authorities. They frustrate the process of document renewal to ensure that they are now tagged, you know, they have the illegal. You know, it's a deliberate thing. Not like these Nigerians intended to be illegal occupants or illegal residents in South Africa. But let's do something about it. Other countries are doing something about it. Nigeria should, you know, step up and do more. The government is doing something, but can do more. That's my take on this one. And we say thank you very much, William Setiaye, for joining the conversation. Thank you very much, Chief Barrister Asim Adams, for joining the conversation as well, and Dele Fanimo joining us right here in the studio. I am Moses Humphrey. 10 o'clock is Newspaper Review. We'll touch on this story and other stories as we get into the papers at 10. Stay with us.
I'm Jane Ogoye. Thank you for watching.
I'm Shukuma Okoro. Bye for now.
What was people's response to it?
Well, when the xenophobic started, they actually
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpillon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not going to the floor, please the sport.
And it's Hakim Ziyech who puts the Atlas.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a... In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react. Understand.
Nigerians, your voice matters, and in 2027 it starts with your permanent voter's card, your PVC. If you're 18 and above and you're a Nigerian citizen, you have the right to choose who leads your community, your state, and your country. But that right only counts if you have your PVC and your name is on the voter register. Here's what to do. First, check if you're registered. If you're not, or if you've moved, lost your card, or turned 18 since the last election, go to the nearest INEC office or an INEC registration center. Second, it's free. Don't pay anyone for any registration or collection. Third, collect your PVC early. Don't wait until the week before elections. INEC will announce
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
Activists, students, women, professionals, political leaders, and soldiers, both those who passed and those still with us, for their patriotic contributions. Though this year's mood is dampened by the abduction of our children in Yoyo and Borno, we remain hopeful for their safe return. Democracy without security is not solid enough. That is why this administration has chosen both kinetic and non-kinetic strategies to restore peace, declared a security emergency, and approved the recruitment of 50,000 new police officers and thousands of military recruits. Our 2026 budget commits 5.41 trillion, our largest ever, to defense and security. We have moved from training with our allies to precision targeting. In Arege, we degraded ISWAP and command centers. Terror-related deaths are down by 81% since 2015. Over 13,000 terrorists have been neutralized in the past year. But we also keep the door of surrender open. Over 124,000 fighters and dependents have laid down arms since 2023. Through Operation Safe Corridor, we turn our former enemies into citizens because every life saved is a victory for democracy. To bandits, kidnappers, and sponsors of terror, surrender or face the full force of the Nigerian state. These windows of surrender will not remain open forever. No mercy will be shown to those who trade in blood of Nigerians. At a time like this, let us not assign blames or point fingers. Crime has no ethnicity. We must stand united and be assured that the enemies of our nation shall soon be history. We will triumph over terror and continue to build a more prosperous nation. June 12 occupies a sacred place in our national memory. It represents more than an election. It is a defining chapter in our history. We remember Chief MKO Abiola, who won a pan-Nigerian mandate transcending ethnicity and religion. We remember Alhaja Kudirat Abiola. We also remember Chief Ganifa Emi, Chief Bola Ige, Chief Alfred Rwani, and Pa Abramadesoya, Chief Anthony Enohuru, Alhaji Balarabe Musa, Commodore Dan Suleiman, Beko Ransom Kuti, Franco Kori, Arthur Nwanko, Chima Obani, Shehu Musa Yar'Adua, and the many other heroes and heroines of democracy whose sacrifices helped secure the freedom we enjoy today. As beneficiaries of their struggle, we have a duty to strengthen and deepen the democratic institutions for which they fought. The greatest tribute we can pay is to build a Nigeria where freedom is protected, justice is upheld, opportunity is expanded, and government is accountable. June 12, 1993, revealed the possibility of a true Nigerian nation. The heroes of June 12 secured political freedom. Our challenge is to secure economic freedom. Democracy must be felt in the quality of people's lives, in opportunities for youth, in prosperous farmers, successful entrepreneurs, and the dignity of our workers. The reforms we are undertaking were not chosen for ease, but for necessity. 3 years ago, our public finances were under severe strain. Investment was discouraged, and economic uncertainty threatened our future. We chose to act, embracing reforms to advance Nigerians' economic freedom. Since 2023, our reforms have restored stability and credibility to economic management. Federation revenues have risen, providing state and local governments with more resources for infrastructure, education, health care, and security. Fiscal transparency has improved. Leakage has been reduced, and public funds are better directed to national priorities. Investors' confidence has returned with investment in agriculture, energy, manufacturing, technology, mining, transportation, and the creative industries growing. Domestic refinery capacity has increased, strengthening energy security and reducing our reliance on imported petroleum products. By 2023, when we came on board, the electricity sector was characterized by chronic generation shortfalls and unreliable gas supply and transmission infrastructure so fragile that they could not evacuate available power. Distribution companies were burdened by massive losses and a metering deficit of over 4 million. Worst of all, the value chain was drowning in legacy debt. The result was a sector that generated less than 13,500 megawatts installed capacity, a sector that transmitted less than it generated, distributed less than it transmitted, and collected revenue far below what it needed to sustain itself. To address the problem besetting the sector, I signed the Electricity Act, which grants state authority to generate, transmit, and distribute power. The Presidential Power Sector Task Force is working hard to reduce the metering deficit. It has also been authorized to raise a 4 trillion bond to settle verified legacy debts. Rural Electrification Agency, supported by the World Bank and the African Development Bank, has deployed off-grid and mini-grid power to underserved communities, universities, markets, and hospitals. Electricity is a democratic dividend we owe every Nigerian. We intend to deliver it. Across the country, infrastructure projects are connecting producers to markets and creating opportunities for the enterprise and employment. The National Agricultural Development Fund is deploying 10,000 tractors over 5 years. Over 1,000 SME have been certified for export. Non-export grew by 21% last year. Yet, many Nigerians still face economic hardship. We remain focused on reducing inflation, expanding food production, creating jobs, improving living standards, rebuilding confidence in our economy, and creating conditions for sustainable prosperity. We are moving from uncertainty to stability. The next phase is about accelerating growth and ensuring the benefits are felt in every home, every community, and every region. We believe that democracy must be felt in the pocket, recognizing that democracy is undermined when people do not feel its impact. My administration has sought financial autonomy for our 774 local councils. A fundamental challenge to our nation's advancement has been ineffective local government administration. The insecurity we are addressing is partly due to the collapse of grassroots governance. The Renewed Hope agenda is about ensuring that all Nigerians benefit from governance. Every generation has a defining responsibility. The generation of our founding fathers secured independence. The generation of June 12 secured democracy. Our generation must secure prosperity. Let us move forward together, rejecting division, cynicism, and despair, embracing unity, hope, and confidence. Let us build a Nigeria united by a common purpose, strengthened by diversity, where justice is accessible, liberty is secure, and opportunity is abundant. Among the architects of modern democratic Nigeria, we honor General Shehu Musa Yar'Adua for his vision of national partnership. In recognition of his contributions, the federal government has approved the refertilization and renaming of the completed Institute of Petroleum Studies, Kaduna, as the General Musa Yar'Adua University of Geological Sciences and Engineering Technology. I'm also pleased to announce the national awards to the following Nigerians who suffered persecution, endured indignity, exile, incarceration, and attack. Odion, Segun Babatope, Sam Omoseye, Sir Ademola Oshinubi, Bola Bolawole, Ladiboni Ola, Femi Kusa, Debo Adeniran, Chief Ayo Padokun, Chief Raf Obiora, Ose Osayode, Barrister Osa Director, Professor Sylvester Odion Akai, Dr. Nwanko Posthumous, Dr. Osage Obayiwana, Joe Oke Odumake, Barrister Titus Mann, Joe Ibokwe, Richard Akeola, Ben Charles Obi, Posthumous, George Umba, Niran Malaolu, Major General Ishola Williams, retired, Femi Aborishade, Jenkins Alumona, Gbemiga Ogunleye, Muyiwa Ade Kaye, Babajide Kolade Otitoju, Ike Okonta. We also recognize the soldiers, Democrats of the June 12 struggle. Major General M.A. Garba, Brigadier General Lawa Jafaru Isa, Colonel Umar Farouk Ahmed, Colonel Sambo Dasuki, Colonel Lawa Gwadabe, Brigadier Jonathan Ndan Temlong, Colonel Musa Shehu, Major General Chris Eze, Major General Aris Dama, Colonel Isa Jibrin, Major General Joseph Oshanopin, Colonel Olusegun Oloruntoba, Olugbede of Gbede Kingdom, Lieutenant Colonel Api Kevas Bulus, Colonel J. Okai, Colonel Emmanuel Unduboeze, Lieutenant Colonel Yakubu Muazu, Brigadier Ayaya Abubakar, the current Esunupe, who is already the holder of CFR title. The honored list will be released in the next few days. Fellow Nigerians, 27 years ago, many doubted democracy would survive here because of our diversity. Today, our diversity Colonel J. Okai, Colonel Emmanuel Unduboeze, Lieutenant Colonel Yakubu Muazu, Brigadier Ayaya Abubakar, the current Esunupe, who is already the holder of CFR title. The honored list will be released in the next few days. Fellow Nigerians, 27 years ago, many doubted democracy would survive here because of our diversity. Today, our diversity sustains our democracy. The road ahead is steep, but June 12 reminds us Nigeria do not break. We bend, we bleed, but we do not break. Let us renew our covenant that the labors of our heroes past shall never be in vain, and that our government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from this land. May God bless the heroes of our democracy.
All right, thank you very much. Welcome back. Welcome to the program. It's newspaper review, and yes, there you have it. The president's speech. We had to play, the full speech for you in case you missed it when he delivered it earlier in the day. Oh well, I am Moses Humphrey, Jane Ogoye right here, Chukuma Okoro, and Dele Fanimo. Well, and then virtually we have Williams Ejaye in our Benin station. So. Let's dive into the papers and the speech. Democracy Day address. Terror financier will pay dearly, says Tinubu. That's as published by the Punch newspaper. And of course, you heard the president say, you have how many hours now to surrender? But the president
he didn't mention, but he said they have a short time.
You have a short time to surrender. That's it right beside the masthead. Democracy Day address. Terror financiers will pay dearly. Nigerians are eager to see how the president makes them pay because Nigerians have suffered in the hands of these terrorists themselves. And so let's know the financiers. All right. Well, Elefanimo, let me come to you. Let me start off with you. You heard this speech.
It's just clear that government knows the financier.
Oh, okay. And the Punch puts it, surrender or face wrath of law. Tinubu warns criminals on Democracy Day. Okay, let me read a few of the riders from this day newspaper. It says, over 13,000 terrorists neutralized in last 1 year. Over 124,000 laid down their arms. Vows to rebuild confidence in Nigerians. Remembers heroes and heroines of June 12th. Like MKO, Kudirat, Parewani, Enahuru, Kokori, Fawehimi, Ubani, and others. Renames Institute of Petroleum Studies, Kaduna, General Shehu Musa Yaradua University of Geological Sciences and Engineering Technology. Okay. And yes, of course. So those are some of the riders there.
No, the point is, if you say we have neutralized 30,000 bandits and terrorists.
13.
30. He said 30 now. Moses, was it not 30?
Neutralized terrorists.
13,000.
13.
13,000.
That's enough to. That's enough population for Chukwuma's village.
My small sleepy village, yes.
And they are still waxing strong. Then we need to interrogate their pool where they incubate to become terrorists. Is there a training ground or facility where they train these people? Because if you exterminate 13,000 in 1 year and these people are still festering, scattered all over the country, in our forest, they have taken over all our forests, then which means over 100,000 will still be living, and they will also have recruitment incubators around them to replace the 13,000 that have been neutralized. Then, after 15 years, you are still telling somebody who is very apt, good at killing people, another opportunity with time to come and repent. I expect the president to talk tough this morning. I expected him to say, anybody in the guise of herding cattle in the forest is found holding assault rifle, that person should be killed immediately Because that person is intent on killing farmers. Because he has no business holding rifle at that moment. It's just like if you encounter robbery suspect at the scene of crime, it's a 50-50 chance. It's either the policeman is killed or the policeman kills the robber. So this idea of after 15 years telling them that you are still opening window of opportunity for them to come and repent, it shows that the will is not there. It would have been better if he was silent on this and let the security agencies and the vigilantes, the hunters, do their job.
All right. Okay. All right. Dele,
go ahead.
Dele, you are a journalist, you know,
Yes.
mass communicator and all of that. You understand what they call selective perception.
Yes.
Apparently, not everybody will agree with the president.
Definitely.
And everybody will not disagree with him.
Yeah.
You said that you expected the president to talk tough. I knew that the president will not talk tough. You know why? We are heading into an election year, you know, and we know where the problem of insecurity is coming from. And unfortunately for the president and for Nigerians as a people, we have the gerrymandering, you know, of the political structure in Nigeria. It's such that a certain group of people, the North in particular, either by default or what, believes, whether it's a myth or a reality, that, well, you cannot produce the president of this country without mass votes from us. And if you look at it in terms of looking for 2/3 of the states, you know, of the 36 states, 19 northern states, the North has 19 states and the South has 17 states. So we have a preponderance of terrorists, kidnappers, okay, terrorists, yes, bandits from the North. And we know that the president does admit, you know, that, well, insecurity has been politicized and that it's the handiwork of my enemies. So at one point or the other, he will need to pacify these people. Not just telling them, well, go ahead and do what you are doing, but he's not going to come out against them head on. So I was not expecting that getting into an election year that the president will talk tough. We are going to do this and this and that. Under Buhari, you heard all of that when Buhari said, well, if this election is rigged, you know, or if I don't win this election, if we don't win this election, we'll make Nigeria ungovernable. And they did it between 2014, between 2011 and 2014. We all saw it happen. And up until today, nobody's career was damaged. In fact, people were promoted. People that said all of that as ministers became governors. The president himself eventually became the president. Buhari himself eventually became the president. Nobody was prosecuted. We've been told in this country that the people are attacking us were brought in. We brought in our brothers to come and help us fight the 2015 election. The persons that said it are walking free the streets of Nigeria and nothing happened. So I'm not sure that
he's in custody.
Well, he wasn't the only person. Bagaladima said it, and the other man said it too. You know, and even to the extent that Chief of Defense Staff had to tell Nigerians, well, the people that are attacking us are not Nigerians. They don't even speak our language, but they are people's brothers in this country. So the president will not talk tough. If he will talk tough about insecurity, probably if he secures a second term, and then he will have nothing to lose if he doesn't return. Of course, he's not going to return to office in 2031. But overall, I think that the president's speech was more like, to me, soundbite. It's something that we are used to. Yeah, we have heard that. In 2027, it will still be the same. Okay, next year is 2027. Will
yes.
It? Okay, if he's still president, then it will still be the same.
After
the election, it will still be the same we are doing where there's economic hardship. We recognize all of that. We need to make more sacrifices. The macroeconomic numbers are looking up. The macroeconomic, the micros are looking that Nigerians are suffering. You need to have more patience with us. And yet you see them with long convoys of vehicles, overseas trip for medical tourism and all of that. It's an ongoing thing. And these things will continue until the day Nigerians say, hey, we've had enough of it. Until then, we'll keep talking about it. As we have, I've talked about this in the past 36 years or so of my career. The same thing, nothing changes.
It's quite unfortunate that the lives of Nigerians are being, used to play politics. Children are dying, people are being beheaded, women are being raped, and they're being killed. People are kidnapped. A lot of Nigerians are afraid to travel, and politicians are playing politics with it all. I mean, Chukwuma did say that the president will not talk tough because elections are around the corner, and that is heartbreaking, to say the least. Well, we have Barrister Sim Adams join the conversation as well. Good morning once again. Let's have your take on the president's speech and the conversation so far.
Okay. All right. I have two issues I would like to tackle. The first one is that of the president, the broadcasts. I found out that President Tinubu is playing politics and not governance. If you look at, I'm trying to fathom out the national award that is given. What is the essence of those ones? And I'm even surprised that my name is not there, because I know that I played a very key role in that June 12, 1993, even though I was a student as at that time. A student in the law school. Then too, is this, from the broadcast, it has further, reinforced the saying of a philosopher, Greenham, Texas, that says that a politician is a fellow who will lay your life for his country. Not laying his life for his country, but laying my life and that of others for his country. The people today in the forest, those that have been kidnapped and killed by the bandits and terrorists on our highways, they have laid their lives for this country. Not a mention is made of them. Not a mention is made of how it's going to tackle insecurity. What is ravaging us right now is hunger, stagnation, starvation, insecurity, banditry, kidnapping. The president has said nothing about that in his address to us today. What kind of hogwash, what kind of dangerous and very suffocating presidential do we have in Nigeria today? What kind of inhuman, intolerable, kind of, president that we have today in Nigeria? What exactly is the problem? What offense have the Nigerian people committed to deserve this malfeasance, to deserve this facade and facetious ululation of politicking by this president? It's a sad one. For me, that is the most hollow speech I have ever heard from a sitting president, especially at this time when people are gnashing their teeth, especially at this time when Nigerians need a hope, need words of succor that will bring them back to life. The president came and is playing politics. What else can I say? That Niccolo Machiavelli once said that the essence of politics is the struggle for power, not to help humanity. I think this president represents such. In our annals of history, this is the most hollow speech I've ever seen. It's so vexatious that a perfidious, statements and writing, I don't know who wrote this for the man. This is sickening to the best of my knowledge. That is number one. I want to say, at this point in time, I was thinking that this man should have given these bandits 12 hours to release those people, or they will storm that forest to get them out by means or by force or any means possible. He said nothing about that. It means that he's nonchalant. He has lost his humanity. And therefore, I begin to say that he should begin to pack his bag from Osula, because I know by 2027, I believe and I know that Nigerians are going to vote him out, because the worst president we've ever had. It's so sad. At times like this, There is no word to the families of those who have laid their lives through banditry. You have never placed these kidnapped children on honors list. I mean, it's so sad that they could stay in the forest for 3 weeks, going to 4 weeks, and you did not even mention them, to even include their names on your honors list. Because for somebody to stay in the forest with these hazardous weathers, the inclement weather that we have, he has paid a price being a Nigerian. The names of those kids ought to be in that particular list. He didn't do that. Opportunity gone wasted. That is my own take on that one, first of all. On the other sober note, is that I urge the National Assembly, as they want to amend Section 214 of the 1999 Constitution, let them simultaneously amend Section 21 of the 1999 Constitution. Section 214 talks about police and that only one police force we are going to have in Nigeria. Yes, they are amending that to have and include state police. I'm asking them to amend Section 2 sub 1 of the 1999 Constitution that says that Nigeria remains dissoluble. I wanted to amend that particular section to say that Nigeria does not remain indissoluble. Nigeria can be dissolved. Nigeria have the right to a referendum for them to seek, sovereignty, for them to seek supremacy of their independence from a nation that is bellicose to a citizen, from a nation that has put us in the harakiri manner of the Japanese, for a nation that has tied us and held us bound by Stockholm Syndrome. I believe that we should have our opportunity to excel and say that a section do not want to belong to this country because leadership has got a problem in Nigeria. Why can't I have my own Niger Delta Republic where I feel that I can excel and I can, promote good leadership of my people and take care of my people? These are the things I want to say this morning. It's so vexed. I'm vexed in my spirit, and I believe that many Nigerians are so vexed in their spirit too. The president has just reinforced that belief in me that he's the worst president we've ever had. By this particular speech that he read to the nation today, it's a gamble.
All right, I think we have a glitch there. We have a bit of a glitch there. Let's go to Benin now, where we have Williams Ejayi. Williams, please talk to me. All right, Williams.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Yes,
Moses.
go ahead.
The issue of the Democracy Day speech, before there was this interruption, the person was sounding very, very out of reality.
By the person, you mean the president?
He was sounding as if he doesn't know what to do.
By the person, you mean?
The president. The
president, okay. Go ahead.
Yes, he was sounding out of reality. Then also sounding as that he doesn't know what to do. I just need to present to you what it is. 27 out of it. If you know that you want to win an election, Nigeria are the set of people that if you will solve this insecurity problem, for example, they will stick with you. If not all of them, they seem not to understand how Nigerians. You understand? This is one of the major issues that have been with this country for over 15 years, and it's not to a stop. And it's never showing us sign that this is coming to a stop, or there is a direction or a clear-cut approach to this issue. You said 13,000. How many of them were rehabilitated? Okay, how many of them return back to the situation, return back to the banditry that we're talking about, the terrorism that we're talking about? How weapons were stolen by these same people? The issue is that no matter what the president is saying, it's just a fact presented to him. Not the reality on ground. That is what I will continue to say. It's not on ground. 42 in forex. Geographical region of Nigeria, and the DSS, I'll keep on calling the DSS, they are in charge of situation like this. Nigeria is not even supposed to be in this kind of situation that have been killed anyhow. Their issue to the highest is the border of the country. DSS are supposed to be directly involved in this issue of terrorism because it's their. But this same DSS will track anybody as against this government within a period of them down and arrest them. But these same people, these same terrorists will video online, will do things to you clearly that this is who I am. Exposing track for you to exposing track for you to even exterminate them out of the country. Okay, take a look at the situation. There's this man just yesterday night. Air Force. And he was France and stated that the Nigerian Air Force receive $1 million annually. And then and you cannot use an airstrike. If it tells that you don't have sophisticated welcome, just airstrike. This issue will be solved. Okay, let's come. Okay. They have people, civilians with them. We don't need to use airstrike. Nigerian DSS are sophisticated enough to rescue these people before the airstrike will come in. So no matter what it is, no matter what they're going to present to us, it is not enough because these people are not bigger than the country. They are not bigger than the country.
They're not bigger than the country.
Fix this issue. Fix this issue of insecurity, and all other things will fall in place.
All right. All right, there you have it. Let's touch on a few other headlines now. Senate extends 2025 capital budget implementation to September. Third extension in 6 months as MDAs struggle to utilize released funds. Lawmakers cite procurement delays, outstanding obligations, ongoing projects. Akpabio says move necessary to ensure accountability and value for money. All right. And then we also have Nigeria exceeds OPEC quota as crude condensate output reaches 11-month high. With the riders, Focados, Bonny boost production. Scheduled turnaround completed. NNPC, security agencies tighten news on vandals along Northern Pipeline Corridor. Oil firm says 24 attacks recorded in 2025 and H1 2024. 3 suspected pipeline vandals arrested in FCT. All right. House passes state police amendment bill. Scales second reading in Senate. Bamidele bill adequately addresses concerns about abuse by state governments. In the event of disagreeable dispute, Police Council gives final verdict. That, of course, is one very interesting headline from This Day newspaper. Matawale, Tinubu will sweep north with bigger margins. APC RHA yielding results. Okay, so these are some of the headlines on the cover page of This Day newspaper. Dele, please. Make your peak.
Which one do you even talk about? Is it politics? Is it economy? Is it insecurity that we have not touched? But which one is more recent that we can really bring up something new out of? Because if you are talking about insecurity, we have been talking about it and we have not witnessed any drastic improvement. If we talk about the economy, it is macro versus micro. Everybody's becoming an economist.
So let's talk about the state police. I mean, first reading, passed in the House, then in the Senate, first reading.
So it's a fait accompli, the way it's going. Maybe today or Monday, it will be. I mean, today is public holiday, so by Monday, the Senate will pass the second reading. And then, but my worry about this state police thing is it the sole responsibility of the Senate and the House of Reps to give the nod, and then the president accents, and then it's implemented?
You know, the Nigerian police force, came into force with an act of parliament. And so if you have to change it, you have to pass through parliament. So what I don't know is that whether what they are doing is an amendment of the Police Act.
I think that's what it is. It's
Okay,
it's an amendment of the Police
So
Act.
I think
the
I think
1997
for us to have
Police Act to expand it, ensure that
the state police
could be
and they
police.
talk about the police council, which will now try to mediate between the federal and the state police in case there's a conflict. That is one step, you know, in the whole process. Now, the second step is that because it's an amendment of the Act of Parliament, you have to go to the State House of Assembly, you know, and you need 2/3 of them, which is more like 24.
That's the worry.
That is 24 of them,
you
know, to also pass in the affirmative, you know, this amendment.
But for the governors to come out earlier in the day in this conversation to say, look, we have passed it, you know, we
have agreed.
We have
in
all
principle.
agreed. That means the state houses of assembly have also agreed.
That was 2024.
That was 2024, early 2024.
You
But
understand?
early this year, you recall that some governors in the north raised objections. Somebody like Bagana Zulum. And I was a bit worried because, I mean, this is a man whose state has been, you know, a flashpoint of insecurity for several years. He was the one that said, well, I think he brought another dimension to it when he said, well, state police, if you bring in state police, some ethnic groups will be exterminated in some parts of the country, whatever he meant by that. And so, interpretively, a lot of Nigerians said, oh, okay, so you are of the opinion that, well, when you are ethnic people, you know, ethnic men commit crimes elsewhere, now you use the from above, power from above concept, you know,
to shield them.
To shield them. That is how some people interpreted it. So, if it is going to go through the House of Assembly, you know, at the state level, for them to also ratify it, except the president plays the kind of politics that we know him for, you know, it might be difficult having to, you know, get buy-ins one way or the other from people.
All right. Barrister Asim Adams, let's get your contribution to that one. State police. State police closer as NAS defines federal state powers. Landmark bill passes crucial second reading in Senate. Reps move to replace PSC with Federal Police Service Commission. One of the headlines there.
That should not be a problem to them because all the governors, I think about how many of them, more than 2/3 governors of 36 states,
yes,
had already approved. They have already approved that they wanted state police. The President Tinubu, before he became president, was clamoring for state policing. He even wrote a lot of books and articles studiously and copiously on state police and state policing. And that should not be a problem because under Section 9 of the 1999 Constitution, it talks about how to amend, you know, any section of the Nigerian Constitution. And it talks about 2/3 having got, you know, a 2/3 in the National Assembly and a 4/5 in the National Assembly, which they have gotten. It will now be passed to the various houses of assemblies. If truly the governors who were in support of state policing were truly in support, they shouldn't have any problem with lobbying their houses of assemblies to endorse, you know, state police. What they just need to do is to lobby them and let them, oh, this is our stand. This is what is good for us. The pros and cons of state policing should be left to be jettisoned because we have gone past that. You know, the reason why I say we have gone past that, some people say, if you bring in state police, governors are going to use ETTC. Who are the governors? If they want to use that in Ekiti State, in Edo State, and we allow them to do that, it's left to my state and it's left to those people. But for now, we need, you know, a state police, you know, that will work hand in hand. And very good, the IG of police already gave his own, you know, a memoir or memorandum, etc., as the case may be, and submitted to the House of National Assembly. And I believe it shouldn't be a problem for us to obtain that 2/3 of all 36 states, as the case may be. Because all the governors are, I remember even quite about 2 weeks ago, more than 2/3 governors also affirmed that they want state police, and they are working. So if anybody does not want to establish state police in the state, if the National Assembly passes the whatever, they should leave it. If Kano says they don't want to establish, if Edo say they don't want to establish, that is their own business. Other states who want to establish should establish their own state police. After all, you have Amotekun operating in the southwest. You have the Hizbah operating in the Sharia states in the northern part of Nigeria. So what is wrong if you convert those to your state police, as the case may be, with an organized whatever? It's very simple. There are crimes that the federal police will commit. There are crimes. For instance, let me tell you the beauty of state police. Matters like stealing, where you find that somebody steals, you accuse somebody of stealing. The IG will invite somebody who stole 10,000 from Port Harcourt to Abuja to come and answer, for stealing 10,000 naira in River State. It makes no sense. That is a state offense. That particular, investigation should end at the state CID in River State, not taken beyond Zone 2 or Zone 6 or Zone 10. I've seen lawyers write petition to say, oh, a man stole, they are not well treated at the state level. They now write an appeal to IG in Abuja to come and or whatever federal security. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Even though we have a bit of a problem with the audio there, we're losing audio quality.
Okay.
Yes, but we can hear you now.
Those are the things. So now I heard somebody was talking about Police Act. I don't know. Somebody was talking about the Police Act.
Yes.
The Police Act is subservient to the Constitution. The Police Act is subservient to the Constitution. Any particular act of parliament, any particular statute emanating from the parliament is subservient to the Constitution. So if the Constitution say it could be amended, the National Assembly can amend it. That's what Section 9 is talking about. So if you have the Police Act, in fact, has recently amended. If you open it, you say subject to the Constitution. Subject to the Constitution. That is what is stated there clearly. So the Act cannot override the Constitution, as the case may be. So this amendment, in my own opinion, is very right. It's okay by us. And we believe it will tackle this insecurity majorly that we are talking about. It will also reduce bribe. This stops and search. When a policeman is posted to his locality, let him go and be collecting bribe from his kinsmen. Then let us see whether when he retires, he will have a place to stay in his homeland there. Let him go and be collecting tolls and 5 naira from buses operating in his state. And let us see how he will not be disgraced.
All right then. Thank you very much, Chief Barrister Asim Adams. You're definitely not lugubrious this morning. You look bright. Your face is shining. All right then. Let's go to Williams Ediaye. Williams, one of the headlines in the papers says federal government uncovers prison feeding scam, pushes 3,000 naira allowance. We know what's been going on with prison feeding, where it was discovered that dogs received more than
the K9 department. They feed
the K9 department dogs were getting more monies. I mean, more monies were set aside to feed dogs than they were setting aside monies to feed the prisoners themselves. So now federal government is pushing for 3,000. I think it was 1,500 a day.
A day, yes.
A day, 1,500. Well, some would say they are prisoners, but they still have their rights, right to until they are, but they still have their rights. Williams Ajayi, you want to react to that headline, or you want to talk about state policing?
Yes, I wanted to react to the state police because I was expecting to. Because I wrote some certain things out.
But go right ahead.
Wrap up the one you threw to me to wrap up. But in the state police, I wrote some certain things out because being that it's an APC government, and then the challenges of all state house assembly, they can never be challenged. But I'm up something. The national minimum standard in a manner prescribed by an act of the National Assembly. That's not. Federal police will continue to function in a state until state police become operational. The bill will also provide the framework and guidelines for the establishment of state police. Now, this is Nigeria. I will not be shy away from the issue of trying to protect the interests of the ruling party. My should not go and prepare a way and manner that it will not favor opposition states. Yes, I'm looking out for that, because what I just outlined is that it's an opening for them to chip in things that would disfavor opposition states. That is for instance, because state policing is one of the things that we are coming for in Nigeria, and it's very important because we don't need to be taking clearance from federal government when there's an armed robbery, a very serious armed robbery in a bank. Just will be having it in a state here. You don't need to take clearance from federal. You just bring it to action. There and tackle all this issue of insecurity and all that. And then let me come back to this one that you asked me. The corruption in our institution is so deep that because our institutions are weak, there are no laws that is making our institution strong. That whenever the issue of corruption it is brought to the book or nailed to the wall, it is to whoever that is involved in this that relax. That corruption is going on there so deeply, so rotten. This same 3,000 that they are pushing for, I will tell you that even if it succeeds, the prisoner will not receive that 3,000. They will look for a way to reduce it. Why will you be feeding dogs more than prisoners? Prison is a place where you rehabilitate prisoners. So definitely they are supposed to be feeding well, so that whatever are going to their brain through the process of rehabilitation, they should be assimilated probably. Somebody that is not feeling well, how will he sit down to hear you talk to him, appeal to his psychological emotions and all that? So please, before they should pass this 3,000, that issue of corruption in Nigeria prison system must be dealt with. So that 3,000 enough to me, we also get to the prisoners. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Williams Ejaye, who joined us from Benin Station. Thank you. We must also appreciate Barrister Asim Adams and Dele Fanimo, who joined us live in the studio. Well, that's how far we can go. I must appreciate Chukwuma Okoro as well, and the one whose birthday is just around the corner, Jane Ogoye. Yes, so we're celebrating her. We're starting the celebration today. Yeah, we'll celebrate all the way into tomorrow. Well, that's how far we go. Chukwuma makes a comeback later today, 6 p.m. Political Lens. Unfortunately for him, he would have to, cut short his Democracy Day celebration.
Unfortunately.
Yes, unfortunately, he'll cut it short to be on the show. And then after the show, maybe catch up with the celebration. And he's definitely not lugubrious as well.
I'm not.
That's it on the show. I am Moses Humphrey. I'll see you next time. Have a lovely weekend.
I'm Jane Ogoye. See you Monday.
I'm Chukwuma Okoro. See you again, 6 o'clock. Bye for now.
Stay happy. Bye for now.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpayon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please just go.
In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get tribe! Hunger no get religion!
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television, Mondays to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The Issues. Don't just react, understand.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
My name is Esther. They call me the guy of them are the general overseer of them all. Every man, every woman has got a voice where integrity is the volume. So this is Voice of the People's TV. Voice of the People's TV. So this is the people's voice. And the people's voice is the voice of God. That's the voice populi in Latin. The people's voice is the voice of God. So keep watching Voice of the People. In fact, my name is Voice of the People. Keep watching MC Ado Pikin.
Hi guys, my name is Kagan. I am Nigeria's biggest tech content creator, and I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Voice of the People TV. Keep watching, enjoy, and you're welcome.
My name is MC Alamano. They call me Enjoy Medlandlord. It's VOP TV. Keep watching VOP TV. Don't touch it down. Even if you want to touch it down, increase the volume. If you don't increase the volume, I told me. My name is Collins Agawabe, popularly known as No Maiden, but last, more than No Maiden, or more. Not be all so the cook right at the fry plantain. We keep on watching VOP TV. The voice of the people, the voice of Edo. If you now want to get the authentic news for Edo, the way it be, that's why they show and all they cut anything come on. At VOP TV.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
Nigerians, your voice matters, and in 2027 it starts with your permanent voter's card, your PVC. If you're 18 and above and you're a Nigerian citizen, you have the right to choose who leads your community, your state, and your country. But that right only counts if you have your PVC and your name is on the voter register. Here's what to do. First, check if you're registered. If you're not, Or if you've moved, lost your card, or turned 18 since the last election, go to the nearest INEC office or an INEC registration center. Second, it's free. Don't pay anyone for any registration or collection. Third, collect your PVC early. Don't wait until the week before elections. INEC will announce dates. Listen to radio, TV, and follow INEC's official pages. Your PVC is more than plastic. It's your power to hold leaders accountable. It's how you decide on roads, schools, hospitals, and jobs for your community. When you vote, you decide the future of your children. Get registered. Get your PVC. Vote in 2027. For Nigeria to work, you must be a part of it. Your vote, your future, your responsibility.
This message is brought to you by Voice of the People, VOP Media.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.